Melissa and Joey is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Morning.
Morning, Joe.
Morning.
Something smells really good in here and I didn't cook it. What the heck is going on?
Aunt Mel made breakfast.
And when you threw all that out, you ordered in from a restaurant? You're not kidding.
Cinnamon rolls. It's true.
From scratch?
If scratch means by dawn's early light, then yes, my shiny-headed domestic friend.
They're good. And they're real.
So, Joe, how's it feel not to be top chef anymore?
Oh, it's not really a competition, Ryder. It's just... Psst, Burke. From refrigerator to table in just minutes.
I just use that for the picture, you know, the way an artist uses a nude model. Damn you, what do you want?
Dolby sound system in the SUV.
Fine.
10 speakers.
6.
8.
Deal.
You don't really need more than 8. I still got it. You're absolutely right. Your aunt has finally topped me. The only thing left for me to do now is just listen to the sweet music of defeat.
Hi, normal family. Lennox, can I get a ride in with you today? My mom is having one of her meltdowns.
She's not throwing stuff, is she?
Nah, it's when she goes to the supermarket in her wedding dress.
I've seen her.
Good morning, Phoebe. Lennox, I have some news that is gonna make you love me. Got an email from your school asking if I'd chaperone the school dance on Saturday night, and I replied, "Nuh-uh, not making that rookie mistake." Proud of me?
You can do it if you want.
But
We're not going.
Nobody asked you guys, huh?
It's just like the 10th grade boys are all
They have a word for it in French.
les geeks. Why do you need a date? Just go with each other. I used to do it all the time. And then when you get to the school dance, you just snake some other girl's date.
Which is wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Cool idea. Want to go to the dance with me?
Sure. Want to go to the dance with me?
Sure.
Great. We both have dates. And if you even think of chaperoning, I will call Child Protective Services.
Yes.
I guess you're stuck with me.
Toledo needs a new youth center to center the youth of Toledo. Well, this will help voters sleep at night and while I'm talking.
Did you like it? I wrote it.
Oh, well, you know, let's just save this for a special occasion. All right, well, let me take a stab at this in my own voice. Youth center. Youth center. Youth center. I need a snack.
Oh my God. Longtime Toledo Councilman Arlen Tepper accused of employing illegals as domestic help. They picked up his gardener and his cleaning lady. His house is gonna be a mess.
Hey, gossip won't get this speech written, Missy, okay? So, unless it's an item about Matt Damon's fetish for little blonde city council women, let's focus on this.
Absolutely. Ooh, Tepper's having a press conference in an hour. There's a picture of him crying. He looks so sad.
You're sure this is 100% reliable information?
It's all over Facebook.
Well, that never lies. Fine, we're just gonna go with it then. Hey, Mel, we have a very serious situation here. Okay, Lennox and Phoebe, in order to save money, bought a couple's ticket to go to the dance, and now there's a rumor going around school that they are a gay couple.
Oh no, she's gonna blame me.
I think it's gonna blow over.
No, these things stick. First day of 7th grade, Bethany Gersh threw up at lunch. For the next 6 years, she was known as Barfany Gersh.
In high school, they called me Stretch. It was ironic.
Was it? Oh, you poor sweet child. How are you holding up?
The gay thing.
Oh, that. Isn't that hilarious?
But, well, isn't everybody being cruel?
Hard to tell. It's high school.
Come on, my gay sister friend. Let's go get tickets to the Lilith Fair and watch a little WNBA action.
She is really upset, Burke. You totally called that one.
Oh my God, my niece is a fake lesbian. We're gonna be on Oprah.
Uh-oh, this is big.
No, you're not taking me off the speech again with another piece of gossipy. Uh-oh. Knock, knock. Joe? Joe, you got a minute?
I'm at lunch.
It's 5 o'clock.
I eat late. Excuse me, I just...
Gosh. Your veins get so poppy when you do that.
Joe, I got a situation here.
And he's got a situation there.
Okay, keep it in your pants, Stretch.
I'll tell you what, why don't I stop what I'm doing and give my undivided attention to you? How about I do that for you?
There's a huge problem downtown. A longtime councilman has just been forced to resign because he had illegal domestic employees. So the city attorney has demanded...
Requested that all city council people submit proper documentation for all their, you know.
For me? Yeah, I snuck over the border to get this job. What do they think? I spent 15 hours in the back of a van to live like a mole man in your basement?
I know, it's completely unfair. I mean, nobody's asking the mayor for his papers. It's just plain wrong. Oh, that's what I should have said when they called me.
That would have been very brave. Gotta admire what you almost said.
The oven's preheated. And listen, don't worry about it, all right? I will get you the papers.
See? No problem.
We need them by Friday.
That could be a problem.
Problem? What do you mean problem?
All right, 375 degrees in the oven, 45 minutes, and back to you.
Problem? What do you mean problem?
I'm just not exactly sure where my birth certificate might, precisely be.
Where's your papers?
Subpoenaed, all right, along with every other personal and professional document in my life. After a global financial scandal and a lovely little divorce, my life has been stuffed into a series of cardboard boxes. It has been so much fun.
Okay, so where are those boxes now? She asked, close to strangling him.
One of 6 different places, if anywhere at all.
Joe, when the city attorney asked the city council people to submit documentation, that's big stuff.
What the hell am I supposed to do about it?
Find them.
What else can I do? How can I help? Oh my God, I'm feeling lightheaded.
Stephanie, you need to go lay down. You have a couch at your apartment, right?
I just don't like it when you guys fight.
Okay, what about where you grew up? I mean, even New Jersey has a Department of Records. I'm sure I can just have my office call whatever Bruce Springsteen song town you were born in, and they'll overnight the records, and then you can go back to your lasagna and nannies of steel training.
First of all, watch what you say about Jersey, okay? And secondly, I wasn't born there.
Fine! What city? Where's the plaque that says on this spot the most annoying person I know is born?
For your information, I was born in the proud city of Uijeongbu.
Ouija what?
It's in Korea, a little north of Seoul. My dad was military, and I was born in an army hospital in Uijeongbu.
Okay, you're born in Korea, you don't have any papers, and you work for me. Oh my God! I have an undocumented Korean nanny!
As hard as this may be for you to believe, I am not Korean. And I have my documents, okay? I just don't have them.
Okay, let's just call your mother. I'm sure she has some backup records.
My mom? Yeah, the only record she has are Sonny and Cher. Maybe the Bee Gees.
Joe, this is serious, okay? Is it possible that your ex-wife has them?
All right, fine. I'll call, Tiffany. See if she knows. She said something about, traveling abroad to Tahiti or Barbados. Look at her going all around the world, and I'm stuck here in your kitchen, spinning lettuce.
My job is kind of at stake here, so could you give me a sliver of hope of something?
That might be the best lasagna I've ever made.
Not going to believe this. You are not going to believe this. Get ready to not believe this.
Wow, look at you all fired up. You're like a little me.
Hey, you. You're going to want to hear this too. Principal Lynn has decided that Phoebe and I cannot attend Saturday's dance as a gay couple.
That was a laugh of political outrage.
Oh, I'm going to fight this. They have messed with the wrong lesbian.
Yeah, the straight one.
Come on, Lennox. It's been a month with no phone calls from your principal. Keep the streak alive.
I am fighting for my gay rights.
You don't have any gay rights until you experiment in college.
Is this really the hill that you want to die on?
Whose side are you guys on?
The side that keeps me off your principal's speed dial. Oh! She's so militant. Well, thanks for being on my side just then.
Sure, it's the least I could do. Sort of makes up for what happened this afternoon.
Go on.
All right, a reporter cornered me when I was at the supermarket earlier today. Anyway, he knew that I worked for you, knew I hadn't filed my papers. Little, Weasley guy in a tie.
Not Jerry Devine.
Yeah, that sounds right. Anyway, he comes up to me and he says, you know, what are you covering up there? I mean, obviously you're an American. And I'm like, oh, really? You could tell I'm an American just by looking at me, can you? Well, guess what? I'm from Korea, pal. How about that, you mouthy fraud? I actually said something a little bit stronger there, but it had the same initials.
Okay, Jerry has a column every Friday. He's gonna tear me apart. Why don't you just burn a flag while you're at it?
I got a little hot. You know, what was I supposed to do?
Stand there quietly and look American.
Relax, all right? There's good news, too. Tiffany gets back in the morning, and she's sending over the file boxes.
The ones that contain your birth certificate and your proof of citizenship and everything that says you're legal?
Absolutely. Very likely. Fingers crossed.
Dwayne, you'll have Mr. Longo's documents in your hand tomorrow without fail. Pleasure as always. You scum-sucking leech.
Wow, you handled that without even breaking a sweat.
I need a dry blouse. Well, our city attorney has just informed me that I am the only remaining council person that has yet to file papers.
You're kind of like a rebel.
Yeah, a rebel without a job. This is getting serious.
Well, what's gonna happen if we can't find Joe's papers?
Well, I'd hate to have to, you know, because he's, and the kids really, and even I hate this.
I mean, I know Joe's the greatest, but at a certain point, don't you have to?
I don't know if I can.
You could practice by fake firing me.
Okay, I'll try. Stephanie, this is not an easy conversation to have. Thanks. Thanks, that was super helpful. Joe?
Kitchen! Look what just got here.
Your files! This is great! Oh, now I don't have to do anything else.
They're pretty disorganized, though.
Who cares? We'll go through them all. I mean, how long could it take? From the way you were talking, I was expecting a whole lot more. Holy son of a box, does this end?
Hey, Mel. I'm already on my second box. I zipped through this first one in like half an hour.
We'll never get through all these by tomorrow.
Look, if we all pitch in, we could totally do this. What's the alternative?
Well, I'll take this pile.
See, that's why I love working with your aunt. She always sticks up for people.
Yep. I'm a sticker. Upper. Oh.
All right. This one's done. Burke, what are you doing? I just said that one was done.
Well, I thought you were sliding them over to me so I could do them.
What? No, I've been sliding them over to you because I'm done with them. That's why they have a big red check mark on them.
I thought the check meant, hey, check this box out. So I just did this whole pile for nothing? Oh, Lennox, baby. Come on, go to bed. Go to bed.
I have paper cuts on my face. I lasted longer than Ryder.
Yes, you did. You did a good job.
Here it is.
Fantastic.
I've been looking for this thing for 20 years.
This is a picture of 5 scrawny boys roasting marshmallows.
Yeah, me and my bunkmates from Camp Arrowhead, Cabin 12. Lenny shook up right there. He could turn his eyelids inside out. Those were good times.
I need to go home and give my dad a sponge bath. He's not sick, just lazy. So are you going to, you know... I hope he takes it better than I did.
Have fun cleaning your dad. Joe?
Yeah, what are we looking for again?
Your proof of citizenship papers?
Yes, absolutely good. Okay.
Listen, Joe, this is not an easy conversation to have.
I got him! I found your papers.
I'm legal.
And you've got the cutest little footprint.
Where did you find
I
these?
looked out my window and I spotted a box left out on the driveway.
Ryder, I could kiss you. I will kiss you.
Hey, back off. Okay, a hug.
All right. Take that, reporter scum. Take that, city attorney weasel.
Yeah, take that down to City Hall.
Yes, going. Good.
Go get ready for school, dude.
You're gonna drive on no sleep? Is that safe?
We got airbags, man. They're like big pillows. Hello? Oh, hey, Mom. How are you? Oh, listen, Mom, great news. You know the documents I need you to find for me? Well, you don't need to look any further because we found them. Yeah. What?
1 second. Come in.
Hey, buddy. What's going on, huh? What's new in your world? What you been, printing lately?
Nothing. Joe, shouldn't we be going to school?
Funniest thing, you know, I was talking to my mom the other day, and I told her it was really important that I find my citizenship document. And guess what she found this morning in her garage next to her old 45s?
Mama's guns?
Yeah, she does. But I was talking about the paper. She found it. The only copy. And it'll be here tomorrow. So you can imagine my surprise when you just found something a bit ago that doesn't actually exist. Yeah. What's this? Let me see. Wow, look at that. Wow, this must be one of the earlier drafts, huh? Seems like this one was issued by the great state of Now Jersey. I have to go stop this. Your rank could get in serious trouble for passing fraudulent documents, dude.
I was just trying to help.
Look, I know this came from a good place, okay? And it actually means the world to me that you did this.
Yeah, go safer, all right?
Well, okay. All right.
Good morning.
Gentlemen, ladies, Councilwoman Burke and the city attorney have an announcement for all of you.
I am pleased to finally be handing over these documents to our city attorney, certifying that my domestic employee, who is here right now, strangely.
Hi. Joe. The, nanny. How you guys doing?
There is, of course, no need for him to actually be here.
I tried to call your cell phone, but it was turned off.
It's a very bad time.
Well, it's very important.
Yeah, so is this. That's why this camera's here.
You kids knew how desperate I was to find my papers.
Okay, reduce it to 3 words.
Writer, Photoshop, felony.
Got it.
Burke, I got meetings. We just take the pictures and go?
And although these papers prove beyond a shadow of a doubt the legality of my esteemed employee, Joseph Longo, American...
Where are we going with this?
Anybody's guess. I object to singling out a few hardworking people whose only real transgression is their lack of political clout. Turning in these papers would be capitulating to unfairness.
You're not giving me the papers, are you?
This is where you give him the papers.
I say no way in heck. You will never get these papers.
Don't make me subpoena your bra.
I will take your questions now.
Is it true your niece is banned from the Grant High School dance because she's part of a gay couple?
What?
If your niece marries this girl, will you attend the wedding?
This is what you wanted to ask? This is why you're all here?
Yes.
Oh, for crying out loud. None of you care about this whole citizenship thing?
Old news. If your niece and her wife have children, will they be welcome in your home?
Oh, this is idiotic. All right, Lennox is not gay.
That doesn't mean we love her any less, though.
Look, Burke, I'm gonna need this guy's papers.
Those aren't real. The papers. You will have the real ones in the morning.
Tomorrow morning? You know what? I could probably make that work. Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, I am sorry that my messy personal life caused you so much trouble here at work.
That's okay. You know, what really got me upset was the thought of losing youth votes. Yeah, you know, for the re-election next year.
Yeah, no, the youth vote can be very fickle. Definitely want to hold on to that one.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Yes.
Yeah. So, thanks for riding to the rescue.
No, listen, it was the least I could do. I mean, You know, it's just...
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right. Well, oh, you wanted to... Oh, you want to...
No,
what do you want to...
Oh,
Okay.
It's...
I'll see you at home.
I'll see you at home.
Okay.
Yeah, here, blow it
What
up.
do you want to... What? Blow it up. Okay.
So you outed me? As straight?
Go away.
Your insensitive remark has cost me all of my credit school. I was the rebel political lesbian. Everybody wanted to talk to me. And now, poof, I'm just another girl.
So, are you gonna go to the school dance tomorrow? Because Joe's gonna have to drive you. I have a work thing.
What has happened to me today doesn't upset you?
I'm not gonna lie, honey. It's like, nothing. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry and all, but, yeah.
Fine. Can you take Phoebe too?
I'd be glad to, yeah.
Oh!
Nicely done, Burke. You acted like you didn't care, and you forced her to calm herself down.
Yeah. That's what I did.
Melissa and Joey is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Hey, aren't you supposed to turn the power off before you do that?
What am I, a girl? Ow! It's nothing.
Yeah, well, if you had hair, it'd be standing up.
Hi. Yeah, we're just gonna be, you know.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
I can already tell you really like them.
And did you see all those piercings? I'm pretty sure I could hear the wind whistling through them. And they never say hello. How come they never say hello?
Because they're teenagers. That's what they don't do. You're also not allowed to sit at their lunch table either.
All right, well, I'm not gonna put up with it. I'm going up to Lennox's room right now.
And lecture her in front of her friends, that'll be really effective.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
You're asking me? I don't have kids.
Neither do I. They were abandoned by my sister. Oh, that was my big mistake, having a sister.
Relax, all right? Lennox is a good girl.
Yeah, but I'm just worried. When I was her age, if someone told me not to do it, I would smoke it, drink it, or date it.
Yes, we know. When you graduated high school, they retired your thong.
Look, the friends you have in high school are critical, okay? Good friends inspire you. Bad friends teach you how to replace your dad's scotch with iced tea.
Mel, I seriously doubt all the poor choices you made in life were because you had a bad friend.
Oh, I didn't have a bad friend. I was the bad friend.
Guess you're stuck with me.
Hey, you. Surprise.
What's with that?
Well, last time I wore it, you said you liked it, so I thought you might want it.
Oh, it's so pretty. Does it come with an agenda?
A little bit. There's a party tonight at City Hall that is gonna be off the hook. Anyway, there's gonna be a bunch of young people, and since you're a young people, there's gonna be music, cute boys, probably sushi.
Sure. If I can borrow some shoes. Oh, like maybe those red peep toes you said you'd die before you'd let me wear?
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, but pantyhose are a must. Clean feet, not teen feet.
Very subtle, puppet master.
What?
In the old country, when marriages were arranged, there was an exchange of beads and livestock.
This is just a fun event with the added benefit that maybe Lennox can make a few new friends. You know, ones that can't be conveniently threaded together.
You said sushi. I like sushi. What is this?
It's pigs in a blanket. Oh. It's E. coli in a blanket. Give me that. No, don't ever eat those, ever.
This is actually awesome. It's the best funeral I've ever been to.
Are you kidding? This is a very exciting evening. They're giving public service awards to the future leaders of Toledo, or as they're known, the Flots. They used to be called the Toleaders, but they were mocked.
No, really?
Go mix, mingle.
Ah, so that's your game. You're pimping me out to nerds.
This is a nice group of civic-minded, clean-cut, optimistic teens. So yes, nerds. But some of these nerds are hot-ish.
Yeah, super foxy. I'm gonna call a cab.
Hi. According to this dorky name tag, I'm Brett. You must be... Bite me.
I'm Lennox. My aunt dragged me here.
Mel Burke, representative for the 7th District and official niece dragger.
And the engine behind funding for the 2 new animal shelters.
Yes, I might be that engine. Oh, good. I thought they were all gonna be raging geeks.
So, has the decision been made whether or not these will be no-kill shelters?
That is a very astute and handsome question. But I will have to get back to you on that later because I'm actually waiting to talk to the mayor if only those butt-kissing, brown-nosing associates of mine would back off.
I can help you with that. Hey, Mayor! Get over here.
What? No, oh my God.
Yelling at.
I'm sorry, should I call security?
No, I think I can handle him.
Dad, Miss Burke wants to talk to you.
Oh, you're his dad. Of course, because a person can be both a mayor and a dad, and in that case, that would be you, Mayor Dad.
I'll introduce you around.
So now that I have your ear, I wanted to talk to you about a critical health initiative that I'm
Lighten up, Councilwoman. This is a party. Forget about work. Ex-wives and alimony. Enjoy yourself.
So I'm proposing a mobile clinic to bring free dental care to downtown Toledo. I like to call it the Smile Mobile.
Look at that. The kids are hitting it off. Those are tomorrow's Toleaders. Today. Fills you with hope, doesn't it?
Yep, I am covered in hope bumps.
Oh, thank you.
Oh. I just saved your life. What was that, like 5 miles?
5 minutes.
Give it to me in terms I can understand. How many cookies can I eat now?
Let's go.
Mrs. Geller, hello.
Hello, Mel. My, I haven't seen you since that incident with the election sign on my lawn.
Mrs. Geller, I was not removing my opponent's sign. It blew over in the wind.
The wind which you created by kicking it?
Hi, Mrs. Geller. You live across the street, remember?
I know that. I'm meeting my date.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm just gonna call your daughter Ellen right now.
Look, there's my young man. Who's crazy now?
We're gonna have a blast tonight, Mrs. Gaylor.
Hey, what's with your Greek grand cougar?
Okay, so the school has this dumb rule that in order to graduate, I need 40 hours of community service by the end of the term, which is Monday. And Mrs. Geller's daughter needed someone to keep her company while she went to Vegas.
Since she's gonna be staying for dinner, I'll set another plate.
Oh, I need 40 hours. She's here till Monday.
Oh, lucky us.
Come on, Mrs. G, you promised you'd teach me how to play pinochle. Hopefully it's more fun than it sounds.
It's not.
I'm going to the mall. Wait a second. I don't think I like the idea of you wandering around aimlessly with your colorful group of friends.
As it happens, I'll be wandering around aimlessly with Brett and the other Flots.
Oh, then fantastic. Go. Wander successfully. Flot till you drop.
Will do.
It smells delicious. Bananas Foster?
Back off my banana, lady. These are personal consumption only.
Fire in the hole, everybody.
Whoa! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Woo!
Good night. Hey, wait, come back over here. So, how did everything go with those crazy cool Flot kids? Come on, girlfriend, share.
I just, didn't fit in. Good night.
Whoa, maybe not right away, but you should give those kids another chance. Maybe start a wicked cool study group.
Burke, You know that line that you don't want to cross? It's right there behind you, so just scooch back a little bit.
They just aren't the kind of people I'm interested in spending my time with.
Lennox, that is so judgmental. You should be open to trying new things.
Really? Really? Like drinking and drugs? Fine, Aunt Mel. Next time I'll stick around for a shot and a hit.
Shot? Hit? Okay, what are you talking about?
I want details. Names, places, times.
Well, after the mall, a whole bunch of those crazy cool flat kids wanted to get drunk and high.
Oh my gosh, what about Brett?
Oh, he was pretty upset. Good, because he brought all the beer and nobody paid him back. And then he got pissed because I didn't want to drink.
Oh, he's gonna get paid back, all right.
So I called a cab. Was I wrong?
No, you were very, very right.
So good night?
Yes, good night.
So here's my plan. Step 1, find boy. Step 2, beat boy senseless. Step 3, enjoy the satisfaction of steps 1 and 2.
Yeah, I have an even simpler plan. Let Boy hang with his crowd and be glad Lennox didn't want to have anything to do with them.
What? This little dweeb offers a 15-year-old drugs and alcohol and he's just gonna get away with it?
Well, nothing happened. Lennox took care of herself. This was a good thing.
What are you talking about? This guy is still out there.
Out there what? Offering girls beer they can refuse?
You know what? I am protecting Lennox, but I see you have a lot of other things going on here, like work and stuff.
Wait, so you think I'm backing off because he's the mayor's son?
Is that something that I should think?
No! This is the way I'd handle the situation with anyone's son. You think I don't care about Lennox? Look, she's up there right now, clean and sober with her honor intact. I don't know how I'm gonna live with myself.
Well, that boy's gonna pay. With blood.
Okay, Joe, you know that line you shouldn't cross? Well, I can't even see it from here. You should scooch back about a mile or 2.
Good night, Mel, dear.
Night, Mrs. Geller.
All right, dear? Am I a scrappy little tramp with a bowler hat and a mustache?
No. Am I Will Smith?
Oh, I wish.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
Joe, what the hell are you doing here?
Well, I'm here to talk to the mayor, work things out.
You can't just walk in there.
I know, I have an appointment.
How? I haven't been able to get on his calendar for weeks. Hey, Lois. Pretty pencil cup.
Oh, thank you, Miss Burke.
Listen, this gentleman doesn't really need to see the mayor, so his appointment is canceled.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Look, the mayor needs to know what's going on here, Mel.
No, he doesn't need to know what's going on. He's the mayor.
What is going on out here? I'm trying to take a nap. Who are you?
Joe Longo, sir.
Oh, you the councilwoman's husband?
God, no. I'm her, nanny.
Okay. Why don't you both come in? Oh, Lois, hold my calls and give me a falafel.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. So, haven't got all day.
Well, sir, there's no easy way to bring this up.
We're here to talk about what happened with Lennox and your son at the party.
Okay, one easy way.
Oh, the party issue. Yeah, I guess we can't dodge it. It's always tough when your own child is involved in something inappropriate. And I feel for you, Councilwoman, because I know you took in those troubled kids after their parents abandoned them.
Yeah, please don't make me out to be a hero.
Wasn't gonna. Look, I'm sure you're doing the very best you can, but teenagers with issues could be difficult to control. They act out with rowdy behavior, they use drugs, they experiment with sex.
I'm sorry, when you say teenagers with issues, who are we talking about?
Lennox. It's my understanding she supplied the alcohol.
I'm sorry, what?
Joe, well, we know there was alcohol there.
My son, Brett, also reported that she was, how can I put this?
Very carefully.
Throwing herself at the boys.
Did you really just say that?
That just doesn't sound like Lennox.
You need to pull your head out of your keister before that little milkshake succeeds in getting one of those fine young men in trouble.
You should really just stop right there.
She may be willing to throw her life away, but she shouldn't drag one of those fine young men down with her.
nannies today with their high levels of testosterone.
Hey, so, good news. The mayor's not gonna press any charges. You know why? He felt sorry for us because we have a teenage sex addict living in our house. You're lucky I didn't take that guy's head off.
Joe, you acted crazy.
I wasn't acting. I had to protect Lennox from all these lies.
Yeah, about those lies. I had this small, unsettling feeling as you were sailing across the mayor's desk like a bald eagle. How do we know? I mean, how can we be sure that Lennox is telling the truth?
Because she's Lennox.
Listen, I lied pretty much every moment of my teenage life, okay? Lying is like eyeshadow to teenage girls. Once they discover it, they use it all the time.
So you don't think she was telling the truth?
I don't know. I'm just saying it's possible.
Well, if she wasn't, and then I went, oh boy. Did I just assault the mayor for no reason?
Look, I'm not saying Lennox is lying. I'm just saying, I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, can you figure that out before you start to say something? Because it'd be really helpful to other people in the room.
Okay, well, the truth is, we're just not gonna know what the truth is.
Oh, we're gonna know. Mel, get in here.
Oh, this is wrong.
Get in here, come on. What is your plan, huh? What, live with the doubt and the constant gnawing anxiety?
Yeah, you get used to it, okay? There's no problem too big that you can't sweep it under an enormous rug, preferably with a vodka broom.
Maybe you can live like that, but I can't, all right? I need proof. Okay, here we go. Now, look, her inbox is already open.
No, if we read her emails, we're violating her trust.
She's never gonna know we're violating her trust, all right? So from her perspective, she's unviolated.
Inviolate.
Really? You're gonna do that now?
Excuse me, hello, dear.
Hi.
Is the kitchen still open?
Yeah, give me a minute. I'll come down and cook you something.
What does she think, she's on a cruise ship?
I don't know. 9 hours and she's gone, okay? How about this? I'll open up the email, but I won't read it. And then you can casually walk by and you can read it.
Yeah, how is that not violating her trust?
Oh, it's definitely violating her trust, big time.
I'm not comfortable with this.
Really? Okay, well, too late.
No! Okay, this one's about the party.
Really? What is ASOS?
Are you stupid or something?
I'm sorry, I don't speak this net lingo.
AYSOS, are you stupid or something?
Oh, thank you. Okay, here's one from Brett.
No! Oh, what?
Don't narc me out, Lennox. If my dad finds out I was buying, he'll take away my car.
That's great. That means Lennox was telling the truth. Oh, what a relief.
I told you.
Anybody home? What are you doing in my room?
Just checking out these lights, seeing how many compact fluorescents we're gonna need to put in here.
1, 2,
3.
We're done.
Yep, all good.
Hey, Lennox, you got a lot of homework tonight? Did you hear that? Yeah, she knows we snooped. That's it, I'm confessing.
You're never gonna do it again, so don't go ruin the relationship.
You're right.
You know, if you just start every day with that premise, your life would just be so much easier. Dinner's ready, everybody. Here we go. Alrighty. Yum.
Before we begin, I would like to say grace.
Oh.
Dear God, please bless this bounty and these generous people who have taken me into their home.
Temporarily.
But not for less than 40 hours.
And please forgive our daily trespasses, particularly earlier today when Joe and Mel trespassed into Lennox's room and read her email.
What? Oh, she's not all there.
Well, that's a load of crap. You two were snooping and you know it. And you ate an entire bag of Slim Jims for breakfast. And you were looking at boobies on the internet.
Wow, nobody left standing.
I can't believe this. I thought you people trusted me. Ugh. Amen. Ugh, another text from Lennox. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm rinsing. I'm spitting.
Wow, she could type that fast with one hand?
Yeah. She won't talk to me, but she texts me every 6 seconds to protest her lack of privacy. I had an impure thought about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This is great. You know, I only read her email because you made me.
Yeah, and that sentence should have ended with, and I thank you, Joe. I thank you for getting me the truth. I never would have done it because I'm a big wuss.
Yo, thank you, Joe, for fixing everything so that Lennox hates me.
You just have this pathological need to be liked.
Clearly, you don't.
No. You gotta repair the rupture, all right? So you go up there and you apologize and you start to mend your relationship. You can do it.
You know, I don't need to be liked. Mrs. Geller hates me, and I'm fine with that. Why does she hate me? Lennox, can I come in? Opening the door. Okay, you've made your point. You can stop texting me now.
Oh, really? Because I thought you needed to know what I'm doing every second of the day and night since you don't trust me.
Hey, look, I was 15 once too, and I did crazy things, and I lied like a baseball player in front of Congress.
But I didn't lie. I'm not you, Aunt Mel.
You know, that's true. For starters, you're a lot smarter than I was. And I made some bad choices, and I'm not just talking about back then. Today, when I read your email that Joe opened, I violated your trust.
You sure did.
So, how about I even the score? I'll tell you a secret I've never told anyone.
Better be a good one.
Oh, it's a good one. All right, I have a little cute tattoo on my left butt cheek that says, Mel and Simon forever.
So?
I have no idea who Simon is.
That's terrible.
Seriously, Lennox, I do trust you, and I don't want to lose what we have.
I know. And it means a lot, you telling me that.
So, Simon will be our little secret? Pinky promise? Good night, Len.
Good night, Aunt Mel.
So, how'd it go?
Good. Pretty good. I think we've reestablished our bond of trust.
I just got a message from Lennox. Mel Burke has a guy's name tattooed on her butt and she doesn't know who it is.
That was supposed to be a secret.
It's a really good bond you two got.
Yeah, it was very funny. Delete that.
I'd be happy to. Although I can't speak for the millions of other people that just read that on Twitter. Hey, it's 1:30 in the morning. Told you that game was gonna get you the ladies, dude.
Yeah, it's Just Dance 2.
Got a ton of new songs. Want to try?
No thanks. Your 40 hours are up, Geller. Go home.
What a buzzkill.
Melissa and Joey is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Hey, anybody got any aspirin? My head is just splitting. Huh? Oh, come on, you guys. I used to love this Halloween stuff.
And I used to poop in my pants.
Hey. Oh, I like what you've done with your hair. You're partying a little bit differently.
See, here's somebody in the Halloween spirit.
Well, my spirits have nothing to do with Halloween and everything to do with this. I just got my Porsche out of the repo lot. Yeah, baby.
Congratulations. It must feel so good to have your penis back.
Go ahead, make your jokes, Burke. The ladies, they love the Porsche.
Yeah, until they meet the driver.
You know,
Hey, whoa, how about channeling all that excessive macho into carving this pumpkin?
nice move. Insult me and then give me a weapon.
Hey, Joe, now that you got your car back, do you hate my dad any less?
Hate the man that made me lose everything? Nah, not at all.
Oh, right in the seeds. So, does everybody have their costume ready for tomorrow night?
You're looking at it. I'm going as a teenager who thinks dressing up is lame.
And I'm going as a brother, the kid who couldn't care less.
Guys, it's Halloween! Come on, remember how much fun we used to have? Scary, sugar-filled family fun? Come on, if you can't think of any costume ideas, I'll give you a hand.
Burke, you give it a rest.
Hey, Joe, can I talk to you in the other room?
What?
You don't understand what I'm doing here, do you?
Yeah, annoying the kids. Oh, and me.
Halloween was always a big deal in their family, all right? And Lennox and Ryder have lost so much.
I'm sorry, it's so hard to listen to anything you have to say with that axe in your head.
All right, look, I just want them to have a great Halloween, okay? So let's go back in there and pep them up.
I don't want to. Ew.
Hey, guys, Joe was just telling me this cool Halloween story from when he was growing up. Longo family crazy fun. Go.
What? Okay, sure. You know, when I was a kid, all my friends got those cool store-bought costumes.
Ooh, wow.
Anyway, I remember one year I asked my dad if I could have one. You know what he did? He grabbed 2 brown paper bags, taped them together, cut a hole out for my head, right, and said, "There you go, son. You're going as groceries."
Thanks a lot.
Glad I could help. Did you guys hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
No, it was that creaking noise. This is the second night in a row that I've heard it.
Oh, you know what? I've heard that too. You know what it could be? The foundation settling.
It's not house sounds, all right? There is something up there.
There is. It's called an attic.
There it is again. Maybe it's a rat or a family of rats.
Joe, it's the house settling. That's what houses do, especially at night. Everybody knows that. There's nothing unusual or weird or strange about it.
Sorry, my imagination.
I guess you're stuck with me.
Hey, you guys find anything up there? You know anything at all?
Nope. I took one into the attic and Joe took the other. Nothing.
So, no evidence of your rodent friends, no rat droppings, or a little rat campfire, or a little DVD copy of Ratatouille?
I'm telling you, there's a rat up there chewing on a wire. Just because we didn't find droppings means nothing.
Means he's constipated. Or toilet trained. Hey, did someone eat my half a grapefruit?
I think I did.
But you hate grapefruit.
So, until recently, she also hated the taste of beer.
What?
He means that I still hate the taste of beer, you know, unless they changed it since my dad gave me like 1 sip when I was 8. Right?
Right, beer. Ew.
And where's my little hunk of lasagna?
Don't you call me that.
Ryder ate it.
Yeah, I must have.
But that was gonna be my lunch. Now I have to buy something from that sandwich lady who looks like John Goodman. I'll get it. What's the point of having all you people live with me if I have to answer my own door?
Hi, Myrna Sherwood from just across the street, Pink House.
Oh, yes, I love all your little plastic geese with all the different seasonal outfits.
They're like my children. I got some of your mail by mistake.
Oh, that's so thoughtful. When I get a neighbor's mail, I just toss it in the neighbor's mailbox.
Okay, you heard that, right? I am telling you, there are rats up there.
Myrna, this is my nanny, Joe. Joe, Myrna from across the street.
Is that the goose lady?
Uh-huh.
Hey, what's going on? Hi.
Hi. So, you've been hearing noises in the attic?
Just, you know, creaking.
Well, not to alarm you, but it could be something else.
Like what?
Oh, I'm sure the realtor told you everything when you bought the house about the unspeakable incident.
Oh, you mean about the swingers that used to live here that made those movies?
Different sounds, hon. Years ago, a widower named Gerhard Mueller lived here. Quiet man. No one even noticed he was gone. Until one day, a telephone repairman glanced in the attic window. All that was left of Gerhard was bones. Oh!
What? How did it happen?
It seems he went up to check on a noise, and then he fell and never came to, and the rats took care of the rest.
So there used to be rats up there.
And ever since, all the kids have said that this house is haunted. But that's ridiculous, isn't it? Well, anyway, I need to go and get ready for all the little trick-or-treaters.
Oh, you still have candy to buy?
Oh, no. I turn off all the lights and hide in my bathroom. Happy Halloween.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah, it sure does.
I got a discount on this house because some old German guy got eaten by rats. Yay for me!
Or Myrna's story could explain, you know, the presence of, well, sometimes when a traumatic event occurs somewhere, it actually alters the energy of that location for a long time. Maybe there's you know,
What?
a spirit.
You mean a ghost?
Look, Scooby, a lot of intelligent people believe in ghosts.
No, they don't.
I am a very skeptical person by nature, but I'm telling you, there are books and articles.
And cartoons.
You know what? Forget I mentioned it.
No, you should go. You should go talk to your ghost.
I will, all right, but not till tonight.
Why?
Because it's better to talk to them when it's dark.
Oh, because then you can't see the strings and sheets and whatnot? Oh, this is gonna be the kids' best Halloween ever!
Hey, Emil, I thought you were dressing up for Halloween.
Har, har, har. And seriously, you guys know what I'm supposed to be, right?
Slutty investment banker.
What? No, I got a thing in my ear.
Slutty UN translator?
Come on, there's still a big box of costumes here, guys. Who wants to be a hobo?
Isn't that just like a homeless person?
It's a jolly homeless person. What about a nurse? Look, that's scary. Ooh, your insurance has expired.
Aunt Mel, we're just not doing the whole Halloween thing.
Okay, but if you change your mind, it's here.
All right, got the candy for the trick-or-treaters?
Oh, thank you so much for doing that.
Of course. Here we go.
Where are the candy bars and the peanut butter cups? This is just black licorice and more black licorice. Oh, wait, here's something different. Black licorice.
What? Who doesn't like black licorice?
Human beings? Yeah, I've got a reputation to maintain. I am known for my badass Halloween candy. I can't be passing out suck like this.
Black licorice is vintage and classic.
Yeah, classic crap. Joe, if I got this in my treat bag, there'd be a flaming bag of dog business thrown at your porch so fast.
Fine, I'll go to the store and get something else.
No, I'll go. Otherwise, you'll just come back with something else lame, like candy corn or liver treats. Oh, there's your ghost buddy. Hey, don't you two have a play date?
Not until it gets dark.
Why? I mean, he's a German ghost. He's 6 hours ahead. You better get up there. Hey, wait. You know what I'm supposed to be, right?
Pilot for Porno Airlines? Hello? Gerhard? Hi. My name is, Joe. I know you used to live here, Gerhard, and I hate to break this to you, but, dude, you're dead. And this is not your house anymore. Nope, this is my house now. Actually, it's Mel's house. I work for her. Technically, I'm freelance. It's an odd situation, really. I got caught up in this big financial swindle and lost everything, and this was the only job I could... Like, you need to hear about my problems.
gonna take Dad some meatloaf. He likes it, right?
How long do you think you can keep this going?
I thought we were in this together.
Okay, but Aunt Mel and Joe are going to find him. I mean, it's only a matter of time.
Oh, so what's your idea? You want to just turn him in?
No. Ooh, take him some of that tuna casserole.
Isn't he allergic to fish?
Mm-hmm.
And even though I can't see you or hear you, Gerhard, I feel your presence here. But you know what? I'm not scared. No, in fact, unlike other people, I welcome you, Gerhard. I welcome you into my home with open... Scanlon?
Joe, hey, you're looking good.
I bet. It's not enough you take all my money, now you're trying to give me a heart attack?
In my defense, I didn't expect to be seen, thus, 3 days in the attic.
You've been up here for 3 days?
Yeah, the kids brought me a hot plate and a space heater, all plugged into one outlet. I'm sorry about the blinky stuff. Tell me, how have you been?
You ruined my life. There, we're all caught up.
I understand. Your anger is to be expected.
You also understand your nose is to be broken?
Go ahead. I deserve it. Of course, seeing my face rearranged could be kind of traumatic for Ryder and Lennox.
Yeah, don't you think you already took care of the traumatizing with the running off and abandoning them?
The months I spent without them have been hell.
Yeah, well, let me help you out. After I beat you senseless, I'm gonna turn you in.
That's fair. Look, it's been so great seeing my kids these past few days. I was really just hoping for one last night with them, then I'll turn myself in.
That's all you want? Just one last night?
It would mean the world to me.
Well, in that case, no. I'm calling the cops. You see what just happened there? So you thought you were gonna get something good and then I screwed you. You know, kind of like a Ponzi scheme. Hey, gang. Where are you headed?
Nowhere.
Really? What's in another bag?
Nothing.
So taking a bag full of nothing nowhere, that's believable.
Okay, here's the truth. We were so inspired by you that we decided to cut this bag up, make it into costumes, and go as groceries. It's an homage.
I saw your dad up there.
What? My dad here in this house?
Back off. He's not buying it.
Yeah, well, not now. Come on, Joe. You're not gonna call the cops, are you? It's one last Halloween, and then he's gonna turn himself in.
We can't put this off any longer, Ryder. Your dad broke the law. Several of them.
Yeah, well, if the law can't give a kid a couple hours with his father, then the law blows.
Dad can't run forever. He deserves to go to jail. But we deserve one last night with him. Please, Joe?
You guys got till midnight. Stay up there in the attic and don't you breathe a word of this to your Aunt Mel. I'll tell her you guys went to a Halloween party or something.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Ever.
Joe, just for future reference, what could I have done back there to make that performance more believable?
Not be lying.
Hey, check this out. They're called candy bars, and kids like them because they don't taste like sugar-coated tires. So, how'd it go with the ghost up there? Was he more white and floaty or green and slimy? And more importantly, did you bust him?
You know what? I hate to say this, but you were right. There is nothing up there. So it was just pal sounds. You were totally, completely right.
Oh my gosh, you saw something up there.
No, I didn't.
When you lie, your voice goes higher.
Well, it does not.
Joe.
Nothing. Rats. Brat. Louis.
Louis? 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 Scumbag Louis, he's in my attic?
Yes. He's up there right now.
Are you joking?
Yep, this is my my hilarious Halloween prank. It's no severed hand, I'll grant you, but...
Well, what are we supposed to do now? I mean, turn him in? Oh, for crying out loud, why did you tell me he was up there?
What? You forced me to tell you. You did that thing where you looked at me. You're doing it again.
Well, I can't just call the cops. I mean, those poor kids. No, wait, I'm an elected official. I can't be harboring a fugitive. I've got no choice.
Wait a minute. Look, the kids begged me for one more night with their father. And then he promised me he was gonna turn himself in.
And you believed him? He's manipulating you. I can't believe you fell for his crap again.
I did not fall for his crap again. I can't believe I fell for his crap again. I cannot believe I fell for his crap again.
Yeah, well, here's how you can tell Lewis is lying. He's breathing. What's this? Oh, it's from Lewis. He says he took the kids to Rick Durrell's house. That's that amazing Halloween party they went to every year.
Well, then let's go there and get him.
Yeah, if they're there.
Well, you don't think he was telling the truth? Okay, let me just take that back.
Hello, officer? I need you to send a police car to Rick Durrell's house on Lakeview. Yeah, I don't know the address, but you can't miss it. There's like 20 zombie-eaten bodies in the front driveway. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because you're gonna find Louis Scanlon there. What do you mean, join the club?
What's happening? What club?
So what if Louis Scanlon is a popular costume this year? I've got the real one. I swear. Hello? Hey, I voted for your pay raise. That's it. We have to go to that party.
Wait a minute. I thought you don't believe that they're gonna be there.
I don't, but we're desperate. Oh, wait. If we're going to the Durrell's house, you can't get in without a costume.
Forget that. We don't have time for a costume. Come on. What are you doing?
There. Ha. You're Mr. Clean. Let's go.
Oh, my God. Great. Scanlon could be inside any one of these costumes. A teenage witch, that's cute. You should have done something like that.
Ugh, been there, done that. All right, they always did everything in a theme, so look for 3 people in a theme-like costume. You know, like Marx Brothers, Teletubbies, any of the greats. Oh, that's them!
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Go.
Oh, gotcha, Louis. Oh, hey, hi. It's a great costume. I had no idea who you are. I still don't. Here, you might want to put that back on. Enjoy the party, guys. Still think that looks like Louis?
I took a shot.
No, you didn't take a shot. You pointed. I'm the one that took the shot.
Mel, Joe, have you tried the punch?
Louis.
Louis.
Actually, tonight I'm a cop. You, of course, recognize my prisoner, who will not speak without her defense attorney.
Been a while, Louis. So much has happened that is all your fault.
I haven't really had the chance to tell you how much I appreciate you looking after the kids these several months.
Well, it was kind of the right thing to do.
You lied to me, Louis. You told me you were going to stay up there in the attic.
I left a note.
Don't blame my dad, all right? We asked him to take us here.
Well, sorry, Louis, but the party's over.
I figured that. We got what we wanted. One last night. You mind if I say goodbye?
Make it quick.
Hold this. Guys, I'm gonna have to go away for a little while, but it's been wonderful. And I know everything's gonna be okay, because you're growing up great. You got your Aunt Mel, then you got my old friend, Mr. Clean.
Dad, I hate that you're gonna have to go to jail.
I got lawyers. Maybe I'll get lucky. Come here.
Bye, Daddy.
Louis Scanlon?
Ah, didn't expect you so soon.
Turn around.
Guys, I love you. It's all gonna be okay. Really.
Hey, you know, it was very courageous of your father to surrender like that, and things are gonna be a lot better now that he's decided to take responsibility for his actions.
That's weird. Louis and that cop are laughing. Waving. Driving off in a Porsche. That's my Porsche. Hey! Want me to cook you something?
No, it's for Ryder. He ought to eat, but he doesn't feel like coming down.
How are you feeling, honey?
I'm not as bummed out as him, because nothing my dad does surprises me. Hey, Joe, do you mind if I take Ryder this weird noodly stuff?
Weird? It's baked ziti. Yeah, go ahead. Take as much of the weird noodle stuff as you want.
Wow, this must have really messed with her. She's doing something nice for her brother.
Scanlon is all over the news, by the way. Apparently he made a clean getaway. You know that guy posing as that fake cop? He's the one in charge of all of his overseas accounts.
Hey, if I had a badge like that cop, would that have helped?
No, I'm still lost.
I'm a sexy Secret Service agent.
Yeah, I guess I could see you throwing yourself at the president. But not to protect him.
I'll take that.
God, this is really gonna be a tough one to get over.
Yeah, but they're young, they're resilient.
I'm not talking about the kids, I'm talking about me. I had my Porsche back for like 1 day. Now I don't even know where she is or if they're taking good care of her.
Aw, poor baby.
Listen, Joey is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Joe, check this out. You were mentioned on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. Well, they're all sort of the front page with these things, but looky.
Don't be so surprised, Burke. I actually had a light before this. I just didn't show up on your doorstep in a basket.
Well, I'm proud. It's not every day your nanny gets ink in a national publication.
Well, it's not every day that I'm your nanny.
Thank God.
Joe Longo, former VP at Scanlon Financial, was the executive who plucked Kevin Shatkin from his job in the mailroom, whatever. Shatkin secured $1.7 billion in backing for his new hedge fund. Rat-faced Shatkin? That little sleazel? That guy used to work for me. He couldn't even get my coffee order right, and they just gave him $1 billion?
1.7.
Oh!
Hey, I just figured that thing out.
Sorry. Oh, hey, it still works. I'll tell you, Burke, they make something in the good old Romania, and it stays made.
Look, I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't read it. I just, saw your name, and I didn't realize it was gonna
Be like throwing acid in my eyes.
Look, Joe, you're down, but you're not out.
I'm gonna be back in the financial world. You mark my words, Burke.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. So what are we having for dinner?
You know, I was the first person in my business school to make VP. And everybody knows that Joe Longo always made his investors money.
Okay, you know what? You just take it easy tonight. We'll order in.
I just can't believe they gave Shatkin $1 billion. He's out there building his global empire, and I'm in here building a metal rack. Avoid doing the laundry.
Look, Joe, you are fantastic at what you do. And if there were such a thing, I bet you would be on the front page of the Wall Street Nanny.
Burke, promise me you're never gonna volunteer for a suicide hotline.
I guess you're stuck with me.
And here are your notes from 5th period chemistry.
Thanks, Beckett. What's with the different color paper?
Oh, I used the National Terror Alert system to color code them by likelihood of being on the final.
Wow, way to use your lethal powers of OCD.
You're the first person to even notice my color coding. And may I say your eyes are the color of the highest alert for beauty.
So, I'll text you by the end of the week and we can set up a date.
A date?
To study.
Oh, yeah, sure, that'd be great. And also, if you ever need any help writing papers, I could write them for you.
No thanks. Appreciate the help with chemistry, though.
Anytime. Seriously, anytime.
Bye.
I see what you're doing here, Lennox. You're using that poor kid to get ahead in school.
Duh.
You really think it's okay that you're taking advantage of that little nerd? Sweet kid?
He got something out of it, too. The joy of being near me.
Well, I see, and he can think back to that beautiful moment the next time that he's getting killed by a wizard online.
Okay, I got your email. What's the big meeting all about?
Miss Burke, take a seat.
Oh, no. Not another intervention. I've already gotten rid of so many of my vices. I mean, I don't have anything left except purses and chocolates. Please don't take away my purses. It's where I keep my chocolate.
This is a meeting about the future.
Oh, please don't quit. I'll be better. I'll wash a dish.
I'm not quitting. Will you take a seat, please? Okay, look, here is the deal. For years, I've been keeping notes of financial advice, all right? And I finally pulled it all together into an ebook, and I am starting my own company.
Ooh, Longco, Longo Co, Longo Corp, International House of Longo. Oh. Use any of them.
Thank you, thank you. Anyway, I'm gonna create a website, all right? I'm gonna make financial videos online that support the sale of my book, all right? The only problem is that, obviously right now, I can't get a bank loan.
Oh, you need to borrow money. Okay.
No, I don't need to borrow money. This is not a handout. This is an opportunity for you to get involved as an investor on the ground floor of my company.
Got it. So, how much do you need?
Well, I'm gonna need $5,000 in startup capital for web design, hosting, and bandwidth, and...
Okay, $5,000.
Wait a minute. Don't you want to see my PowerPoint presentation?
No, Joe, it's okay. I don't need to see anything. I trust you.
No. Come here. Look. You have to look at my prospectus, okay? Here.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So,
okay,
charts,
see that? Wait a minute.
graphs,
Yeah, but that chart is...
Oh, yay, okay. And I'm writing, and here is your check.
But this is not how it works, okay? I make a presentation, and then you say, wow, that was really great. Let me think about it, and I'll get back to you.
Okay. Let me think about it, and I'll get back to you. Yay!
Is this a pity check? Are you just doing this because you like me?
No, I don't like you. That's how much I believe in you. Hey, you know what? Let's shake on it.
Shake? No. I've drawn up contracts, all right? And I actually have a notary coming over later this afternoon.
Wait, who needs a notary? It's a friendly transaction between friends.
No. This is a business transaction between business partners.
Okay, partner. Deal?
Deal.
This is so exciting! Team Burke Longo. Okay, Longo Burke. Yeah, I don't have an ego about these things, but just Burke Longo sounds better.
Mel, look, we are not partners, okay? We are silent partners, so shh.
But...
Nah, I just said silent partner, okay? Here, I refer you to my prospectus.
Let me refer you to my check. Besides, I don't really do silent. Ask any of my other partners. I make a lot of noise. Very loud.
That's so gross. Okay. So, how are the opening credits coming along, buddy?
It's a little rough, but here, take a look.
All right. Okay. Wow. That is very impressive. And I gotta like the price, right? Taking you to see a movie.
No, not just any movie. We're talking Tron Legacy in December. Opening weekend, midnight show, bottomless nachos.
You drive a hard bargain. So how quick can your webmaster turn this whole thing around?
Well, Larry's got marching band on Tuesday and allergy shots on Thursday. But I think he could fit you in live before midterms Friday.
I got a real crack team.
Hey guys, just thought I'd drop by the set and see how the shoot is going, chat up the cast and crew.
It's going fine.
Great, good. So, Joe, I wanted to run some of my ideas past you before you get started.
Well, you're a little late.
You shot the first one without me?
No, we shot the first 3 without you.
But I'm a partner. I was supposed to be in the loop. I was not looped.
Relax, all right? We didn't really shoot that much. We just shot a few of the videos, so you would have something to come down here and look at and make your comments on.
You're just trying to get around me.
No. Right?
No, it's not his exact plan at all.
Thanks, kid. Come on over here and take a look, partner. All right, here we go. Welcome to Joe Knows. I am Joe Longo, and today's subject, futures contracts. What are they? How can you use them? You may not know, but Joe knows. It's an agreement to take or make delivery on a date in the future. If you like what you heard, order your copy of Monetizing Your Future, Investment Tools for the 22nd Century. I'm Joe Longo, and this has been...
Very painful. Oh, how long was that?
18 minutes, 22 seconds.
Oh, I feel like I just died 6 times. Wow, those are way too long. I mean, these are webcasts. They're supposed to be tiny nuggets of wisdom, not big boulders of boredom.
Everything in there is essential information.
Joe, here's how the internet works. Click. want to see the cat play the piano. Click. I want to see the dramatic chipmunk. Click. Charlie bit my finger.
Pardon my truth, but I'm the one with a master's degree here, and you have no experience in business.
Okay, you know what? Experience is overrated. I got into politics with no experience.
Yeah, don't get her wrong. She knew all the issues.
Don't get me wrong. I knew all the issues. You know, I had them down. I mean, but anybody can spout the issues. I had something the other candidates didn't have.
Daddy in the senator business?
No, likability. You post these, nobody's gonna watch them.
Well, look, I appreciate the input, all right? Consider it considered, but we are going to post these webcasts as they are.
Well, contact Homeland Security, because there's gonna be a big bomb.
Oh, no, stop. My essay wasn't that good. Well, you helped me a lot, so thank you. No, thank you. Okay, Beckett. Bye.
Lennox, if Beckett is doing something for you, you really should give him something in return. Wait, let me rephrase that.
That's not what this is about. Beckett's just a sweet guy.
Really? Because the other day you called him the bastard love child of Bill Gates and a robot. You know, geeks are people too.
Okay, yes, Beckett is geeky and nerdy and everything. But he's also kind of cute.
Ooh, you like him.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
Short selling or selling short involves borrowing a security from a broker and selling it with the understanding that it must be bought back and returned to the broker later. You see that? I cut out a bunch of stuff. I really think it's singing now.
Yeah, Joe, you may want to take a look at this. I mean, the site's been up for 3 days, and we've only gotten...
17 hits? That's it? That's pathetic.
Hey, how's the traffic today? I checked the site 16 times just to see.
Yeah, let's just say there's no danger of running out of bandwidth. We got 17 hits.
What? Those books are not flying off the virtual shell?
You don't need to gloat, Burke.
Oh, that wasn't gloating. This is gloating. Joe, believe me, I want your business to be successful.
I don't need your help. I've been making successful presentations in boardrooms for years.
Yes, as a suit, selling to other suits. But now you have to appeal to a whole different audience. Come on, let me help you. I'll be like your media consultant. I'll give you my input and you can do with it whatever you want.
As long as I take it.
17 hits.
Fine. Write down your thoughts. We'll toss them around later.
Let's toss right now. First of all, you have to be more approachable and casual, you know, less bankery and suity, lose the shiny duds.
This is Hugo Boss.
Yeah, it represents the man, okay? I'm changing to something more accessible and tight.
So you really think the way to sell my finance book is by wearing a tighter shirt?
It's called branding.
Branding? Well, that makes sense, because, yeah, I do feel like a piece of meat.
We're creating an image. Anybody can give financial advice, but how does Joe Longo give financial advice?
Not half naked.
All right, look, just try it, okay? A little rehearsal. Now remember, personable, likable, casual, and go.
This is Joe Knows with Joe Longo. I'm Joe Longo.
Cut, stop, no.
What?
No.
I'm wearing the shirt you want me to wear. What's next? Tell you want me to lay on a bear rug?
Look, I just want you to be relaxed, okay? Here's a little technique I learned in a public speaking course I took at the Learning Annex.
Were you there auditing, or did you stay both weeks and get the full MBA?
Okay, what you want to do is you want to associate public speaking with relaxation and comfort. So when I was doing my election campaign, I used to rehearse in a bubble bath. So then when I gave the actual speech, you know, I was able to hold on to that feeling. So the question is, what makes you comfortable and relaxed? Besides that.
Okay, let's see. I get endorphin rush when I work out.
Good, good, let's try that. Pick up one of those muscle lifty things.
Fine. Muscle lifty thing.
All right. Now, give your spiel.
Futures contracts represent an agreement to take or make delivery of a commodity on a particular date in the future. Are you kidding me?
No, it's working. You're almost watchable. Yeah, keep talking, keep pumping.
Commodities can be, say, you know, coffee, cotton, cattle, and, of course, everybody's favorite, the good old pork bellies.
Hey, I think we got it. Yeah, I think we found your brand. You got this whole hunky, manly thing going on. I think you should do the webcast just like this.
Are you serious while I'm working out?
Yeah, oh, Your angle could be pump up your profits. Yeah, you just, you do the thing, you grunt a little, and you let loose with the blah blah.
Mel, I'm gonna look ridiculous.
You're not gonna look ridiculous flying on your private Learjet made of solid gold from all the books you're gonna sell. Trust your consultant. Come on. I got Mel Burke elected to city council. That's no easy task with this lightweight's background. Great, and action.
Oh, hey, what's up? This is Joe Knows with Joe Longo, and that's me. So today we're gonna be talking about futures, all right? And futures are really just an agreement to buy some commodity sometime in the future. Hey, guys.
Oh, hey, Joe, come here, look. We put up the new webisode 2 hours ago, and we already have 1,000 unique visitors.
We're a hit.
It's fantastic. Joe Longo is back, baby. How many book orders we had?
Let's see. Here it is. None.
0?
Well, if you round up.
Yeah, but look at the comments. Joe knows what I like. Hot, hot, hot. Ooh, he can shake my money tree anytime. People are loving it. I don't know. Looks like your consultant came through for you.
Yeah, but nobody's buying the book, so what the heck is the point? And look at these comments. What the heck are these? I'm interested in high-yield returns, Joe. Can you take off your pants? And this one, I can't even say with the kid in the room.
Yeah, that one was pretty funny. In a way that deeply offends me. Oh, hey, did you guys see this email? Look at this. Nick's Sporting Goods wants to make an advertising deal. They love your workout. They want to sponsor the site.
Wow, seriously?
Joe, here's your gold mine. Focus the webcast on the workouts. That's what people are responding to. Follow the money.
No. Look, this is not about finance, Mel. This is not what I set out to do.
Well, I'm sorry, but Columbus didn't set out to discover America, but I'd say that worked out pretty well for everyone involved.
Except for, all the Indians. Look, I'm not doing this pumping and pimping thing. No, I am not selling out.
Okay. Then I guess for the first time in his business life, Joe Longo is gonna post a loss.
Meet me in the garage in 15 minutes, dude. We're doing ab crunches.
And tax tips?
No. Just friggin' ab crunches.
Looks like you've really got the concepts down, Lennox. You'll ace the final.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you.
True dat. So, that's about it.
Oh, wait, you've got a cookie crumb on your lip.
Yeah, I gotta go.
But, you were gonna tell me about the space program and gravity and how objects are attracted to each other.
Yeah, maybe at school sometime.
Beckett, wait. I was gonna ask you if you maybe wanted to go out with me Saturday? Like on a real date?
Gee, I'm sorry, I've got other plans.
But you can't turn me down. I'm me and you're you.
Look, people saw you talking to me in the hall after class, and I guess they figured if a girl as cute as you would talk to me, well, anyhow, Felicia Wallace asked me out, and I said, sure.
Felicia Wallace? She's a slut.
That's what they tell me.
I don't understand. How can this happen?
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. But look at it this way. You are a very smart, attractive, and interesting girl. Okay, you're gonna have the opportunity to dump many, many guys in your lifetime. But this might be Beckett's only shot at being the dumper.
So I guess I gave him an incredible gift.
You did. You are a giver. Awesome, exciting, wonderful news. We just got our first check from Nick's Sporting Goods. Look, it's made out to JoeKnowsFinance.com. Aw, I feel like my little baby just took her first steps.
Why is my website a girl?
It just is. Here, relish the sweet smell of success. Actually, it's kind of funny because I dripped some relish on it and it actually smells like...
Hey, Mel, do you mind? I have to get a leg of lamb in the oven and we need to keep things on schedule in here.
Sorry, of course. Yeah, you're making with the capitalism, rocking the entrepreneurial world, on your way to creating an empire. All thanks to little old me.
All right, Ryder, let's get ready to do this, okay? Full squat lifts, take 1. Hey, I'm Joe Longo here with the lift of the week. The squat lift will tone up the greatest number of muscles in the fewest moves. One important thing to remember is stretch first. You want to be gentle with your groin.
Joe?
Mel, hey, I was looking for you.
And I was looking for you.
Well, we found each other.
Yeah, listen, I wanted to talk to you about Joe Knows.
Actually,
no,
you know,
please, let me.
Well,
Okay, I've been thinking a lot about the webcasts, and, you know, the only reason I wanted to invest the money was so that you could start your own business and be happy. But watching you a little while ago, you weren't happy.
I know.
No, I'm
that's why
almost finished.
All
right, Joe, I just care about you too much to let you do this. You know, so just don't worry about the money. Pay me back when you can. But please stop doing the bodybuilding webcasts.
I stopped doing the bodybuilding webcasts.
Without telling your partner? What's this?
Sweet victory. I made a deal with Nick's Sporting Goods. I sold him the Joe Knows site outright. I even made a tidy little profit.
Oh, $5,002.
Yes. Joe Longo always makes his investors money.
Thanks. I can ride the bus now. Almost. So, no regrets about selling the business?
Nah. Look, I could have made the fitness thing work, you know, but it's not what I want to do. My heart just wasn't in it. I'm going to be back on top in the financial world, I promise you that. But hey, it was a pleasure doing business with you, partner.
No, it wasn't.
No, it really wasn't. It was worse than fraternity hazing at Ball State.
Yeah. I've had bouts of food poisoning more enjoyable.
We just don't see eye to eye. We
Rub
just
each
rubbed
other
it the
the
wrong
wrong
way.
way.
I
That's
was
what
just
I was
gonna say
gonna
that. Partners. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go to the garage and break down the rest of the set.
You know, I have an idea about how to do that.
No. Don't start with ideas. I know what I'm doing. I'm the one who put it up. I'm gonna be taking it down.
Okay, everything's set. And
action.
Want your friends to be jealous of the huge pile of money you're sitting on? Well, then you need Joe Longo's amazingly wonderful book. Order now, and you'll also get a free trip to anywhere in the world. Paris. London. Egypt. Inside the human heart.
Hey, Burke, you gonna help me with any of this stuff, or are you just gonna continue to play?
No, I still want to play. Joe Longo's book won't only teach you the secrets of finance, it'll teach you how to fly.
Burke.
Tried to strike up a cheerful conversation. She asked Lennox if she had seen the new dresser she had placed in her bedroom. Lennox barely looked up from her magazine, replying with forced politeness that it was very cute, but she was perfectly fine living out of her suitcases. Melissa felt a pang of sadness. Lennox still thought living with her aunt was a temporary arrangement. Melissa muttered to herself that Lennox no longer shared her true thoughts. Melissa remembered a time when her niece would happily announce her plans, even if it was just sneaking out of the house or playfully suggesting they get matching tattoos. Now, everything was met with resistance just because Melissa was the authority figure. Melissa joked to herself that doing horrible things, like buying beautiful furniture for a child, clearly made her a monster. Her friend and neighbor, Rhonda Chong, walked into the living room. Rhonda was a vibrant, supportive presence. She told Melissa that it was natural for Lennox to be difficult, reminding Melissa of her own wild teenage years at the age of 15. Melissa brushed the comment aside, joking that she did not remember those years clearly. Melissa changed the subject, reminding Rhonda that she had a date that evening. It had been an incredibly long time since Melissa had gone out, well before the children had moved in. She was genuinely nervous. Rhonda assured her she would stay with the kids and handle anything they needed. Rhonda turned to Ryder, who was bouncing a basketball in the hallway. She told him that his coach had mentioned he needed a better jump shot. Ryder looked surprised and asked if Rhonda possessed basketball skills. Rhonda smiled warmly, assuring him that she was incredibly talented on the court. She then instructed Ryder to finish any homework he had, and beyond that, just to be good and, most importantly, not to set the house on fire. Ryder looked down, a bit embarrassed. There had been one single minor alarm fire in the past. When his father had abandoned the family, Ryder had been so overwhelmed with anger that he had stacked 20 of his father's expensive suits on the driveway, poured top-shelf liquor over them, and set them ablaze. Melissa defended him quickly, noting that everyone needed to let their feelings out occasionally. Rhonda countered softly that the urge to set things on fire should generally be repressed. Melissa thanked Rhonda for babysitting. She held up 2 different outfits, asking for fashion advice. She presented the first option, describing it as smart, independent, and indicative of a bright political future. Then she held up the second option, a slightly more daring dress, and declared that it announced the return of a former bad girl. Rhonda playfully suggested the first outfit looked like hiking gear, and pointed to the second dress as the absolute winner. Just as Melissa was feeling confident, the telephone rang. Rhonda answered it. It was the principal of the local school. Rhonda's eyes widened as she listened. She repeated the unbelievable news out loud. Lennox had done something terrible. Today, the school. Melissa took the phone, her heart sinking. She spoke to the principal, trying to defend her niece. She stated that she found the accusation hard to believe, as it was not at all typical behavior for Lennox. She promised the principal that she would speak to Lennox, though she remained in denial. When she hung up, Melissa turned to Rhonda in shock. She relayed the news. That very day at school, Lennox had handed out flyers containing an original poem. The poem rhymed the principal's name in a highly creative, yet incredibly offensive way. Miss Lent, the principal, was not amused. To make matters worse, a local television station was already looking into the story. Melissa buried her face in her hands. She had just been on the air, live, denying any family dysfunction, and now her niece had been suspended after only 2 months of living with her. Rhonda offered a sympathetic smile, suggesting that Melissa hire a professional organizer or a nanny. She pointed out that the children desperately needed structure, discipline, and guidance. She told Melissa that she could not possibly do everything by herself. Melissa stood tall, refusing to admit defeat. She declared that while she might not be able to do everything, she could certainly handle her own niece. It was simply a matter of marching upstairs and setting the young girl straight. She took a step toward the stairs, but froze. She asked Rhonda why she had not moved yet. The weight of the responsibility was paralyzing. She lamented that her sister should be the one disciplining Lennox, but her sister was currently locked up in a federal prison. Mustering her courage, Melissa went up to Lennox's room. She tried to approach the situation gently. She mentioned an old photograph she had found of the 2 of them at a music concert, hoping to remind Lennox of their close bond. Lennox was defensive, pointing out that the picture had been hung very obviously in the hallway. Melissa corrected her, saying it was hung affectionately, not obviously. Melissa tried to pivot to the real issue. She recalled how they used to share important things with each other. She asked Lennox if getting suspended was something she might want to share. Lennox crossed her arms and finally spoke. She stated flatly that Miss Lent was a dictator. Melissa sighed, asking why Lennox could not have simply called the principal a dictator, instead of using the inappropriate rhymes in the poem. Lennox defended herself, stating that she never got into trouble at her old, wealthy school. Melissa reminded her that her parents had practically bought that school an indoor pool. Lennox rolled her eyes, complaining that the pool did not even have a spa. Melissa took a firm stance. She told Lennox that the principal was expecting a formal apology. They had an appointment in the principal's office at exactly 3 o'clock the next afternoon. Lennox sarcastically wished her luck, stating that since she was suspended, she would simply never go back to school. Melissa firmly corrected her, emphasizing that education was the most important thing in the world, and she would absolutely be returning. The doorbell rang. It was Melissa's date. She pointed a finger at Lennox, telling her to stay right there because the conversation was not over. Melissa hurried downstairs and opened the front door, expecting a charming evening. Instead, she found Joseph Longo standing on her porch. Joseph looked humbled. He spoke quickly, admitting that he had acted like a complete fool down at the city hall. He confessed that he never should have crashed her meeting to demand information about his stolen money. He acknowledged that his behavior was wrong, and he had come to apologize. Melissa was tense. Before she could stop herself, she blurted out the name of the country Bolivia, asking if that was where Louis had fled. Joseph physically flinched at the word. He stated that shouting the word Bolivia caused everyone associated with the scandal to flinch. Melissa glared at him, asserting that she had no idea where her brother-in-law was, and demanded that Joseph leave her alone. Just then, her actual date, Griffin, walked up the path. He looked incredibly handsome and smelled wonderful. Griffin asked who Joseph was. Melissa stammered, caught off guard. She looked at Griffin, realizing how much she had been looking forward to this evening. But the reality of her niece upstairs, suspended and angry, weighed heavily on her. She turned to Griffin with a heavy heart. She explained that she had a niece in a deep crisis. As much as she wanted to go on the date, she knew she had to stay home and parent the child. She apologized profusely. To make up for the ruined evening, she reached into her purse, pulled out a significant amount of money, and handed it to him, suggesting it should cover his expenses for the next few weeks. Griffin was stunned by the handful of cash, muttering that it was a tremendous amount of money, before awkwardly walking away. The next morning, Melissa was rushing around the kitchen, late for her meetings. Rhonda was there, helping her organize the day. Melissa proudly announced that she had finally filled out the paperwork for a professional nanny agency. Rhonda looked at her in disbelief, pointing out that she was incredibly late in doing so. The doorbell rang. It was Joseph Longo again. This time, he looked slightly more composed, holding a folder. He declared it a happy visit. He explained that he had stayed up late researching the city budget online. He proposed a brilliant financial strategy. He suggested that Melissa hire him to manage the city's general fund. He promised to double the rate of return, which would provide enough money to fund the smaller class sizes, reinstate the garbage pickups, and even buy dessert for everyone in the town. Melissa listened, somewhat impressed by his financial acumen, but she quickly shot the idea down. She told him the plan sounded wonderful, and she would sign up immediately if he were not completely out of his mind. Joseph defended himself, reminding her of his past success. He had run the commodities division for her brother-in-law, making legitimate millions, which Louis had subsequently destroyed. Joseph's confident facade began to crack. He admitted that his life had fallen apart. He had lost his job, whispered to herself under her breath. Then, a rebellious, decidedly unpolitical thought flared in her mind. Suck it, garbage guy. But the trial was not over. Another man stepped up to the microphone. He was dressed slightly better, but the anger radiating from him was palpable. It was not civic anger. It was deeply personal. "Hey, do not be that guy," Melissa said preemptively, recognizing the hostility in his posture. "Do not be that guy who brings your garbage into a public arena and acts like a crazy person. Act like a gentleman. Thank you." The man ignored her plea for civility. He leaned into the microphone, his eyes locked onto hers with piercing intensity. "Now, where the hell is the money your brother-in-law stole from me?" A collective gasp swept through the room. The cameras flashed. Melissa felt the familiar, heavy stone of public humiliation drop into her stomach. Her brother-in-law, the architect of a massive corporate fraud that had left thousands destitute, ruined her sister's life, and landed 2 displaced teenagers in Melissa's spare bedrooms. "What?" Melissa stammered slightly, recovering her footing. "My sister? Okay, yes, they are married, but that is not me." She looked out at the sea of judgmental faces and decided to gamble on human empathy. Let me ask the room, does anybody here have a relative they are not exactly proud of? A few hands sheepishly raised in the back. A low murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. It is not just me, Melissa reasoned, her voice softening. At least he was cute. The room offered a scattered, uneasy laugh, and the tension slightly deflated. After the meeting, walking through the corridors with her staff, the reviews were mixed but generally positive. Yeah, I do not see the resemblance, her colleague noted, matching her fast-paced stride. But you held your own up there. You really remind me of your father, the esteemed senator. Melissa let out a long breath, checking her reflection in the glass of a passing door. Oh my goodness! Did I smell like the nervous sweat of a politician cornered by an angry mob? Did I smell like strippers? Her colleague laughed. No, you smelled like authority. Oh, well, that is my signature fragrance. Melissa smiled, finally feeling a surge of pride. Yeah, I have to say, in all humility, I was, yes, smoking. They shared a quick celebratory high five. Up high, down low. Okay. Melissa cheered. Plus, her colleague added, your brother-in-law and his various felonies totally shifted the focus of the meeting. I think you put the whole trash issue to bed. But the trash issue was far from asleep. When Melissa finally arrived home, the quaint, suburban charm of her house had been entirely erased by a blockade of black plastic bags. The pungent aroma of decaying food and old coffee grounds hung heavily in the air. Sitting on the steps, completely unbothered by the stench, was Ryder, her teenage nephew. He was a good kid, though perpetually trapped in the hazy confusion of adolescence. Aunt Melissa, Ryder called out as she approached, his expression mildly curious. Why are angry white guys throwing trash at our front door? Melissa sighed, pinching the bridge of her nose. There is a complex political debate happening in the community, Ryder, in which the majority feels as though. She trailed off as she stepped over a particularly massive bag. This is getting heavy, and really smelly. Ryder stood up, holding a small bag of household trash. I am just going to leave this here for you, Aunt Melissa. There are like 10 more on the porch. Wonderful, Melissa muttered. She made her way inside, eager to escape the smell and find some semblance of order. She spotted her niece, Lennox, walking down the stairs. Lennox was 15, fiercely intelligent, and currently wrapped in a thick armor of teenage rebellion and profound grief. Hey, Lennox, Melissa called out, hoping to spark a connection. Lennox, did you see the new dresser I put in your room? Lennox paused, offering a tight, polite, yet entirely distant smile. Yeah, it is really cute, but I am okay. I have got my suitcases. Melissa watched her niece walk away, feeling a sharp pang of sorrow. She thinks living here is temporary, Melissa realized. She still believes her mother is coming to get her. Later, venting to her friend on the phone while pacing the kitchen, Melissa let the frustration pour out. She no longer tells me what she thinks. It used to be, I will sneak out of the house, Aunt Melissa. Or, let us get matching tattoos, Aunt Melissa. Now it is just a cold wall. And why? Because I said so. I do horrible things like put actual, permanent furniture in her bedroom. She poured herself a glass of water, leaning against the counter. Clearly, I am a monster. Of course, she is difficult. Do you not remember what you were like at 15? I do not remember very clearly. I did a lot of drinking then. Melissa hung up the phone, determined to reclaim a tiny piece of her own life. She had a date tonight, her first date since the children had moved in, since her world had been flipped entirely upside down. She needed this. She walked into the living room, where Rhonda, the hired babysitter, was already setting up camp on the sofa. Rhonda was a formidable woman, practical and deeply unimpressed by the drama of suburban politics. I am going out tonight, Melissa announced, fluffing her hair in the hallway mirror. So Rhonda is staying with you guys if you need anything. Ryder walked in, tossing a basketball between his hands. Coach says I need a better jump shot. He mumbled to no one in particular. Rhonda looked at him without blinking. You got one of those? Yes, we Asian women are all about the hoops. She pointed a firm finger at him. So, if you have got any homework, do it. And beyond that, just, be good and do not. Torch the place, Ryder offered helpfully. Melissa froze. Yes, that. Rhonda raised an eyebrow. Torch the place. It was one little single alarm fire, Melissa explained quickly, waving her hand as if to dismiss the memory. At his old house, the week his dad ran off. He was angry. He just stacked 20 of his dad's expensive suits on the driveway, added some top-shelf cognac as an accelerant, and lit them up. Ryder shrugged, looking entirely unrepentant. In a way, it made sense. We all need to let things out every now and then. No, we do not, Melissa corrected sharply. The urge to set things on fire we repress. We bury it deep down like civilized people. She turned to Rhonda with a pleading smile. Thanks for babysitting. I have not had a date since the kids moved in. It has been so long. I am actually nervous. Melissa held up 2 different pairs of shoes. All right, what do you think? These heels say smart, independent, bright political future. These boots say former bad girl who is ready to play. She is back, Rhonda deadpanned. What, are you going hiking? Where are the heels? Those. The ringing of the telephone shattered the moment. Melissa answered it, her cheerful demeanor evaporating within seconds. Hello? Yes, this is Melissa Burke. Mrs. Chong? Yes, hello. The middle school principal. Melissa's face drained of color. She did what? What did she do? When? Where? Really? Today? She closed her eyes, pressing 2 fingers against her temple. Lennox did that. Mrs. Chong. I find that hard to believe. No, she did not tell me. It is not at all typical behavior for her. Of course, I believe you. I know when something is serious. It is really serious. I am really sorry that this happened. I will talk to her. But I am telling you, this could not have happened. She hung up the phone and stared at the wall. The universe had a wicked sense of humor. Guess what? She announced to the empty room, her voice dripping with disbelief. Today at school, Lennox handed out flyers containing an original poem, rhyming her principal's name in a highly creative way that did not go over well with Miss Lent. Not to send up a flare, but there is a strong possibility Channel 5 has a story on this by the evening news. She sank onto the sofa. 2 months. 2 months of living with her, and the girl gets suspended. Legal guardian of the year, Melissa muttered to herself. Thank you so much. Her inner voice echoed the advice her friends had been giving her for weeks. I keep telling you, hire somebody. An organizer. Professional nanny. Those kids need structure and discipline and possibly electroshock therapy. And you, my dear, cannot do everything. Well, maybe not everything, Melissa said aloud, steeling herself. But I can certainly do this. It is just a matter of going up there and setting that girl straight. I have not moved yet, have I? A wave of exhaustion washed over her. Why is my sister not here to discipline her own daughter? Oh, right, because she is locked up in a federal prison. Melissa climbed the stairs and knocked gently on Lennox's door before opening it. Lennox was sitting on her bed, sketching in a notebook, looking entirely indifferent to the chaos she had caused. Melissa sat down on the edge of the bed, trying to find a bridge across the vast, emotional chasm between them. She noticed a photograph pinned to the corkboard. Remember you and me at the Fall Out Boy concert? I just found this old picture in my head. Lennox did not look up. Oh, you mean the one that was hanging very obviously in the hallway outside the door? Not obviously, Melissa corrected, striving for a warm tone. Affectionately, that was some night. Huh? Fall Out Boy. Woo-hoo. Lennox finally stopped sketching and looked at her aunt with tired, cynical eyes. Where are we going with this? I was just remembering the good times, you know? Melissa pleaded softly. When we shared things. When we told each other things. Important things. Like the things that happened today. Lennox rolled her eyes, crossing her arms over her chest. Oh, come on. You did not think I got suspended with something you might actually want me to share. Okay, I will share this, Melissa said, her patience thinning. Miss Lent is a principal. She deserves respect. Miss Lent is a fascist, Lennox declared coldly. Why could you not have just called her that instead of, writing a profane rhyming poem? Melissa sighed. Look, I know this is hard, but you cannot act out like this. Well, I never got in trouble at my old school, Lennox fired back defensively. That is because your parents bought the school an indoor swimming pool, Melissa reminded her gently. Lennox scoffed. It did not even have a spa. Like, what is up with that? Whatever. Melissa stood up, realizing that reasoning was futile for tonight. Look, Miss Lent is expecting a formal apology. You and I have an appointment down in her office at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Great. You let me know how that goes, Lennox replied, turning back to her sketchbook. Lennox, until you talk to her and apologize, you cannot go back to school. Lennox shrugged, a mask of total apathy falling over her face. Oh well, guess I am not going back to school. Of course you are, Melissa insisted, her voice rising in desperation. This is your education. Nothing in the world is more important. Before the argument could escalate, the doorbell rang. Saved by the bell. Melissa smoothed her dress. Oh, that is my date. Oh, I have more to say to you. You just stay right there. I will. Stay. Oh, this is gross. I am a mother. I was expecting my date. She hurried down the stairs, plastering on her best, most charming smile, and pulled open the front door. It was not her date. Standing on her porch, surrounded by the towering bags of garbage, was the angry man from the town hall meeting. Up close, he was taller, broader, and his anger seemed to have been replaced by a deep, weary humiliation. I will be quick, the man said, shoving his hands into his pockets. I was a jackass down at City Hall today. I never should have crashed your meeting asking where your brother-in-law was. That was wrong. And I just wanted to come here to your house and say that I am sorry. Melissa stared at him, taken aback by the genuine apology. And then, her anxiety got the better of her. Bolivia, she blurted out. The man blinked, stunned. Louis is in Bolivia, is he not? Melissa flinched, physically stepping back. You just flinched, the man pointed out. I flinched because you shouted Bolivia at me on my own porch. Melissa defended defensively. Okay, people in Bolivia just flinched from you shouting, the man retorted. Melissa rubbed her temples, feeling a headache coming on. Look, I do not know where the hell he is. Now please, get lost and leave me alone. Just as she moved to shut the door, a sleek car pulled up to the curb. A handsome man stepped out, holding a bouquet of flowers. Griffin, her date. Hi, Griffin, Melissa called out, her voice cracking slightly. She turned back to the man on her porch. Hey, do you not look nice and smell handsome? Griffin approached the porch, eyeing the strange bald man standing next to Melissa. Who is this guy? Oh, no guy, Melissa babbled. I am. Look, Griffin, I know you have waited a very long time for this date, and so have I. I mean, look at you. Great. But look, I have a teenage niece in crisis upstairs, and I really want to go on this date, but, I have to spend some time with her. And I so want to be spending time with you. But, man, you smell great. Griffin looked understandably bewildered. Look, I was really excited about this date. I just cannot go on it, Melissa confessed, her heart sinking. She looked around frantically, needing to offer him something, anything, for his trouble. She grabbed a container from a delivery bag resting on the entryway table. So let me do this. There. She shoved the warm container into his hands. Griffin looked down at it. That should hold you for a few weeks, maybe more. We just do not know. Griffin slowly removed the lid. Wow, that is a whole bucket of gravy. I am so sorry, Melissa whispered, gently closing the door on him, leaving him standing next to the town hall stranger. She turned back to the living room, defeated. Unda. I know I am late. Rhonda did not look up from her magazine. Really? That late? Yes. I filled out the paperwork for the professional nanny agency. It is right here. No kidding, Melissa Mater. Suddenly, the front door clicked open. The man from the town hall stepped inside, uninvited, looking around the foyer with a critical eye. I am late? You should have said that before. Oh, dear God, Melissa gasped. Relax. It is a happy visit today, the man said, holding up a thick stack of printed papers. May I? No, Melissa said firmly. He ignored her, stepping further into the living room. So, I found the city budget online last night, and I went through it line by line. Here is a thought. The cash in the general fund that is just sitting there doing nothing? Hire me, and I will double your rate of return in 6 months. That way, you will have enough money for your smaller class sizes and the extra garbage pickups. He smiled a confident, winning smile. And pie for everyone. Melissa stared at him, genuinely impressed by his audacity. That sounds like a great plan, and I would sign up immediately if you were not a complete lunatic. Joseph Longo is not a lunatic, he declared, adjusting his jacket. Recognition sparked in Melissa's eyes. Joe Longo? You are Joe Longo? You ran Lewis's commodities division. You made him millions. Legitimate millions, yeah. Joe corrected, his jaw tightening. Which your bastard brother-in-law completely pissed away. Sorry. Happy visit. Yeah, you went all Bolivia there for a minute, Melissa noted. Joe took a deep breath, dropping the bravado. Yeah, so what do you think? Maybe you could get me a job downtown? Melissa shook her head, genuinely sympathetic. There is a hiring freeze in the local government right now. I am really sorry you lost your job. Yeah, that is old news, Joe said bitterly. Yesterday, I lost my condo. Yeah, well, I really need to. And now they are about to repossess my car, Joe added, the hits just keeping coming. Oh, but here is the morning's big headline. The adorable Mrs. Longo has decamped and moved back to her mother's house. Melissa winced. Oh, God. I am really going to miss that car, Joe said, staring blankly at the wall. How can I put this nicely? Melissa started, trying to edge him toward the door. I have got my own massive problems. Joe looked at her, his desperation leaking through. So you are not going to help me? Do you live in my district? Now that I am living in my car, yeah, Joe replied. Melissa crossed her arms. Look, I have got endless council meetings, a citywide trash revolt, a teenager on the brink of academic disaster, and I am in desperate need of professional help. For the household, not me. She pointed to the agency application on the table. You are not going to find anybody this way. The salary sucks. It is barely a living. Joe looked at the application, his eyes scanning the numbers. It includes meals, which she will be cooking because otherwise people in this house will starve. She? Joe asked, raising an eyebrow. It has to be a woman? Only vagina Americans need apply. Melissa glared at him. Personal question. Did your hair get sick of you and leave? Or was this a choice? All right, Joe said, holding his hands up in surrender. He looked at the paperwork again, the gears in his head turning. A man who managed millions of dollars was about to negotiate a babysitting salary. Look. We both know that is a lowball offer, all right? So come on. What is your top number there? That is my top number, Melissa stated flatly. All right, you have got a deal, Joe said, extending his hand. I can deal with it, but I cannot start until Monday. Who offered you a job? Melissa demanded, bewildered. All right, I can start today, Joe pivoted seamlessly. I am just going to have to, move a few things around. Mostly my car. Tuesday is street cleaning, is it not? Melissa laughed out loud. A harsh, incredulous sound. You do know we are talking about being a nanny here, right? There are actual human children involved. Have you ever worked with kids? Are you kidding? Joe puffed out his chest, stepping back into his salesman persona. Right out of college, I ran a youth center downtown. I was in charge of 50 teenagers. I cooked them meals, I helped them with their homework. I was Charles freaking in charge. Melissa studied him. He was arrogant, broke, and entirely unqualified. But he was here, and she was desperate. Yeah, you are perfect, Melissa said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. There is just one little detail. I do not really like you. The next morning was a symphony of chaos. The kitchen was a disaster zone, backpacks were lost, and the clock was ticking mercilessly toward the start of the school day. Joe stood in the center of the kitchen, wearing an apron over his button-down shirt. You know about the school bus? He announced to Melissa, who was frantically searching for her keys. It is not running today on the Jackson Street block because of some kind of garbage protest. Crap, 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 Melissa chanted, pacing the floor. Oh, I mean golly. Tough break. Okay, I will take him. I will just miss my morning meeting. I mean, it is not like we really need the police department budget approved. No, 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 Joe interrupted smoothly, grabbing a set of car keys from the counter. You will make your meeting. I will take him. He turned to Ryder, who was staring at him with sleepy confusion. Hey, hi, I am Joe. See that Porsche parked out there? Ryder's eyes widened. Yeah, it is yours. For 10 more days, Joe said brightly. Sweet ride. Buckle up. As they walked out, Melissa's phone rang. It was her sister's lawyer. She answered, watching Joe and Ryder walk to the sports car. Is not that the cute, yelling guy from yesterday? Her assistant asked, having just walked in through the back door. Yeah, Melissa sighed. He is a homeless commodities trader. He is taking care of the kids. She paused, listening to her own words. How high do I sound right now? Bottom line, the agency said a woman named Mrs. Dietrich sounds great. The perfect nanny. You were right. I cannot do this alone. Wait, the commodities trader? Her assistant asked. No, he is just temporary, Melissa assured her. And he is not cute. No, he is not. He has no hair. Okay. Before we pull the nanny trigger on the agency, when do I interview this lady? Before she could finish the thought, Joe walked back through the front door, looking deeply annoyed. He pointed a finger at Melissa. Hello. Hold on a second. Hey, let me ask you something. When is the last time anybody did any laundry in this household? You people live like pigs. Melissa gaped at him. Those are my delicates. How did you get my delicates? Were you in my room? Yeah, Joe said unapologetically, tossing a silk scarf onto the chair. He looked at the assistant. Pull the trigger. Later that afternoon, the house was strangely quiet. Melissa walked in, expecting the usual post-school disaster, but found Joe sitting at the kitchen island, meticulously chopping vegetables for dinner. Hey, Joe, Melissa started carefully. You were right. I should have eaten that sandwich earlier. Joe pointed a knife toward the stairs. All right, get back up there. What? Melissa asked. What is Ryder doing home in the middle of the day? His history paper, Joe replied, not breaking his chopping rhythm. What? Melissa's voice pitched higher. Wow. All right. Pack the angry veins back into your forehead and explain. Joe set the knife down, wiping his hands on a towel. I took the kid to school, right? And we get to the drop-off and he tells me he does not have his history paper. So we drive all the way back here to get it. And then, standing in his room, he tells me he did not exactly write it. And I said, well, you better exactly write it right now, because it is due today. So he is up there writing it now. and he does not come out until it is done. Melissa stared at him in horror. Huh? Now that is not nannying. You brought him home? You do not bring a kid home who has not done his work. You leave him at school to get yelled at by the teacher, which is exactly what he has got coming. Joe scoffed. What kind of rules are those? The rules that everybody in the civilized world knows, Melissa shouted. I am somebody, Joe countered, and I never heard of them. Melissa threw her hands up in defeat. Whatever. Where is Lennox? Are you ready? It is time to go to the principal's office. Joe looked around the empty room. She is not here. Where is she? Melissa demanded. You were supposed to watch her. You never said that, Joe defended himself. Because it is obvious, Melissa yelled, her frustration boiling over. The girl got suspended. She is gone. She has ditched the meeting. Joe rubbed his chin, looking at the ceiling. You know what? You are right. Melissa blinked, derailed by the sudden agreement. I just said you were right. That was a compliment. Okay, Melissa said, her brain scrambling to form a plan. She has like 3 places she usually goes after school to hide out. I will start there. Do you want me to help you? Yes, please do, Melissa said, rushing toward the door. Nothing, Joe said to the empty room as the door slammed shut. I can work with this kid. Wow. While Melissa scoured the local coffee shops and parks, Joe had taken a different approach. He had simply walked up to the roof of the house. Sure enough, sitting on the flat section near the chimney, overlooking the quiet suburban street, was Lennox. She had her knees pulled to her chest, staring out at the horizon. Joe climbed carefully out of the attic window and walked over to her. Is this where you come for your adolescent brooding? Joe asked, his voice calm, lacking the frantic energy of her aunt. Lennox did not look at him. Did you come up here to turn me in? It is not really my style, Joe said, sitting down a few feet away. What is your style? Lennox asked sarcastically. Outlaw, Joe said with a straight face, cast out by the power brokers, forced to live a life of exile in the city. Lennox let out a short, humorless laugh. Oh, kind of like Batman, if he had been demoted to a nanny. Nice, Joe smiled, appreciating the quick wit. Are you not supposed to be at a meeting at your principal's office right now? Why should I? Lennox snapped, the anger finally bubbling to the surface. Crap goes on there all the time. Miss Lent fires the beloved music teacher, completely gets rid of the marching band to save a few bucks, and everybody is just afraid to talk about it. I am tired of life being unfair. How about for once, it just be fair? Joe looked out at the street below, the sinking sun casting long shadows over the neighborhood. He thought about his lost career, his lost condo, his failed marriage. He knew a thing or two about unfairness. I would be upset too, if my mom and dad bailed on me, Joe said quietly. Lennox stiffened, her eyes flashing with defensive pain. You are talking about Miss Lent. If you say so, Joe replied mildly. You do not know anything about me? Lennox whispered, her voice trembling slightly. You are right, I do not, Joe agreed, shifting to face her. But what I really do not know about you is why you are taking all of this anger out on your aunt. Because she is. Lennox started, but the words caught in her throat. Because she is the only person who has not bailed on you, Joe finished for her. He let the words hang in the cool evening air. Look, I know she can get a little skitsy and frantic at times. Okay, all times. But since we are talking about what is fair, do you really think it is fair that she has to go down to your school all alone, sit in that tiny chair, and eat your big bowl of stink for something that she did not even do? Lennox looked at him, her brow furrowing in genuine confusion. Big bowl of stink? What is that? Joe chuckled softly. You will know when you have eaten one. Down at the school, the principal's office felt like a sterile interrogation room. The walls were a pale, depressing beige, and the ticking of the wall clock was deafening. Melissa sat across from Miss Lent, a severe woman with narrow glasses and a posture made of iron. "Any sign of our Lennox?" Miss Lent asked, her tone dripping with condescension. Melissa shifted uncomfortably in her undersized chair. "Oh, Miss Lent, look, I know what Lennox did was bad. Okay, really, really bad. But if any kid has the right to be upset about what life has handed her recently. Look, I am not trying to excuse Lennox's behavior. I am just saying if I was Lennox, I probably would have done much worse by now. In fact, when I was her age, I did." Miss Lent folded her hands on her desk, entirely unmoved by the plea for empathy. "This meeting is pointless without Lennox present. Why do we not just reschedule? Do you think you can manage to find her by, say, tomorrow afternoon?" the principal pressed. Melissa pulled out her phone, scrolling through her calendar with frantic thumbs. "Oh, tomorrow's city council session is an all-day event. But we do take a lunch break from 12 to 1. I do not know when you break for lunch." Miss Lent sighed, removing her glasses. "Miss Burke, parenting does not fit into nice little schedule boxes. You know, it might be helpful to look not just at what Lennox is doing wrong, but at the job you are doing as a guardian." Melissa felt a flush of hot shame creep up her neck. She opened her mouth to defend herself, to explain the impossible situation she had been thrust into, but the door behind her clicked open. "She is doing okay," a voice said. Melissa spun around. Standing in the doorway was Lennox. She looked small, nervous, but determined. Lennox walked into the room and stood beside Melissa's chair. "Hey, I'm sorry I am late, and I am sorry about the other day with the poem, and I am sorry about the stuff that I said. I was mad, and apparently not really at you, but there is no need to blame my aunt. She has been getting enough of that from me." Lennox looked down at Melissa, offering a small, fragile smile. "You know, at least she is trying." Melissa was speechless. A profound sense of relief and unexpected warmth washed over her. "Okay, whatever," Lennox muttered, breaking the emotional tension. She turned to face Miss Lent. "Let us just get to the stink-eating part." Miss Lent looked utterly bewildered. The what-eating part? Later that evening, back at the house, the atmosphere had shifted entirely. The heavy cloud of tension had lifted, replaced by a tentative, fragile peace. In the living room, Joe was showing Ryder some basic basketball footwork, moving surprisingly well in his expensive leather shoes. "All right, let us see what you have got," Joe challenged, passing the ball to the boy. Ryder fumbled a bit, his posture rigid. "Here is a thought, my hip young brother man. Try loosening up your knees a little bit. You are welcome." Melissa walked into the room, kicking off her heels with a deep, contented sigh. She watched them for a moment, a genuine smile playing on her lips. She walked over to Joe as Ryder jogged into the kitchen for a glass of water. "I heard about all the crap you have been going through," Melissa said softly, leaning against the arm of the sofa. "You know, with your wife leaving, going broke, losing your car, your condo. I mean, how can you even walk under the weight of all that?" Joe stopped bouncing the ball, his expression darkening slightly. "Oh, sorry. I did not mean to." No, it is all right," Joe said, his voice dripping with dry sarcasm. "I am perfectly aware that my life is currently an abyss of inky black despair. Thanks for the motivational pep talk." Ryder walked back into the room, holding his water glass. "Hey, could you show me how to do that crossover move again?" "Only if you taped it," Joe replied with a smirk. "I have no idea how I did it." Melissa laughed. "Oh, I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. I meant your aunt. I meant your aunt," she babbled playfully, feeling lighter than she had in months. "Hey," Lennox called out, walking down the stairs. She looked relaxed, the heavy armor finally put away for the night. "So, I ate my whole big bowl of stink. I even went back for seconds. Ugh. I am going to go brush my teeth now." She pointed a finger at Joe as she walked past. "Hands." Melissa watched her niece disappear down the hallway, her mind racing. She turned to Joe, her eyes narrowing in sudden suspicion. It was you. You talked her into going down there. How did you talk a stubborn, grieving teenager into going down to the principal's office? Joe shrugged, spinning the basketball on his index finger. People like me. I have a gift. No, really? Melissa pressed, crossing her arms. Joe stopped the ball, sighing heavily. I paid her $50. Melissa's jaw dropped. A bribe? That is terrible. Not only is that morally wrong, that is horrible parenting. Well, I am not a parent, Joe pointed out logically, and neither are you. Ryder, who had been listening quietly, suddenly perked up. Can I have $50? No, Joe and Melissa said simultaneously. Then relax, all right? Joe told Melissa, waving a dismissive hand. I wrote Lennox a personal check. It is going to bounce. Another very valuable life lesson about trusting people in the financial sector. Melissa stared at him, caught between horror and absolute amusement. So, is this how you ran your youth center right out of college? Joe chuckled, shaking his head. Oh, please, there was no youth center. I made that up. Ryder looked between the two adults, sensing the impending argument. Can I speak to you in the other room? He asked Joe. Nice knowing you. Oh, I will be fine, Joe assured the boy, bracing himself as Ryder scrambled upstairs. Melissa stepped closer to Joe, her voice low and dangerous. You lie. You bribe teenagers with bad checks. Is there anything you will not do? Windows, Joe replied instantly. I do not do windows. Melissa glared at him, but she could not maintain the anger. A smile tugged at the corners of her mouth. Look, Burke, Joe said, his tone softening into something resembling sincerity. I am just trying to help you out here, you know? I mean, I may have played it fast and loose with the rules, but Lennox apologized to that lung woman, right? Miss Lent, Melissa corrected automatically. Yes, she did. She also, as it happens, said a few nice things about me. In front of me. Melissa's voice caught slightly, the emotion welling up again. It is the first time she has said a kind word since she has been living here. Frankly, it took my breath away. Joe smiled, a genuine warm smile that reached his eyes. Melissa narrowed her eyes again. Oh my God, you did not pay her to do that too, did you? No, Joe laughed softly. She gave me that one free of charge. Although, it may just be my mere presence in this household that is sort of seamlessly pulling everything together. Oh my God, let us definitely believe that, Melissa scoffed, rolling her eyes. Then, she remembered the agency. Oh, I almost forgot. A Regency nanny agency called. They said that Mrs. Dietrich is available and that she will be here at 8 in the morning tomorrow. Joe's face fell slightly, the confident mask slipping for just a fraction of a second. You did not think I could handle this job, did you? To be honest, no, Melissa admitted, looking at him thoughtfully. Not until you, pulled all that bizarre confidence out of thin air. Joe stood a little taller. So, is this official now? Because, if not, I can just, hop in my house, my car, and drive away. Melissa looked around the room. The laundry was folded. The history paper was written. Lennox had apologized. Ryder was practicing basketball. The house smelled like dinner instead of garbage. Yeah, Melissa said softly, extending her hand. Let us give it a shot. How bad could you possibly be? Joe shook her hand, his grip firm and reassuring. You will find out, will you not? Hours later, the house was dark and quiet. Melissa walked quietly through the kitchen, pouring herself a glass of water. She jumped slightly when she saw Joe sitting in the dim light of the living room, reading a financial magazine. So, how did your date go that lasted until 3 freaking in the morning? Joe asked, not looking up from the page. Melissa smirked, leaning against the counter. Leave me alone, Mom. It is not a school night, and he was the captain of the football team. Joe flipped a page. God. Melissa chuckled quietly, walking into the living room and sitting on the opposite chair. So, how did the kids get to bed? Ryder knocked out about 11, Joe reported, closing the magazine. And Lennox was, 1:30. 1:30. Joe smiled. Suddenly, a loud, booming knock echoed through the quiet house. Melissa and Joe both jumped. Army Delivery Council. Babe? A deep, gruff voice shouted from the front porch. Joe looked at Melissa, his eyes wide. Does it? What is that face? Did you forget to order something? Hey! Melissa shouted, scrambling toward the door. She peered through the peephole and stumbled backward. Holy nuts! That guy is huge. Joe stood up, grabbing the heavy metal flashlight from the side table. Melissa! Melissa, this guy. Joe stammered, stepping cautiously toward the door. I am not kidding, Melissa. This guy is huge. As they stood there in the dimly lit hallway, the disgraced commodities trader clutching a flashlight and the city councilwoman hiding behind him, Melissa realized something profound. Her life was no longer perfectly scripted. It was chaotic, loud, and entirely unpredictable. But as she looked at Joe, ready to defend their bizarre little makeshift family from a massive delivery man at 3 in the morning, she knew one thing for certain. She was no longer doing it alone. And perhaps, against all logical odds, that was going to be exactly what they all needed. The bright, unforgiving lights of the city council chambers illuminated the polished wood of the central podium, casting long shadows across the faces of the gathered citizens. Melissa stood at the center of it all, a beacon of composed authority in a sea of municipal unrest. From the sidelines, her colleague and friend, Rhonda, watched with a mixture of amusement and admiration. Rhonda leaned closer, her voice a low, teasing murmur over the ambient noise of the restless crowd. Look at you, Rhonda whispered, a smirk playing on her lips. Public servant by day, hottie by night. Melissa allowed herself a brief, private smile before her expression smoothed back into professional determination. Well, she replied softly, her eyes scanning the room. I have to turn on the heat during the day, or nobody gets anything done. She tapped the gavel, the sharp wooden crack slicing through the grumbles of the audience. The room quieted, albeit reluctantly. Moving on to the next item, Melissa announced, her voice ringing clear and steady through the speakers. The council story is up. From now on, we are capping elementary school class sizes at 22 students. The words had barely left her mouth before the unrest flared into open rebellion. A man in the second row, his face flushed with indignation, shot to his feet. In his hand, he gripped a bulging, dark plastic bag. This is garbage, the man bellowed, his voice echoing off the high ceilings. Which is exactly what is piling up in front of my restaurant because you cut the pickups to once a week. Melissa held her ground, her expression unwavering. She had anticipated this. Well, a reduction in trash service is exactly what pays for the smaller class sizes for our children. She countered evenly, her tone a masterclass in diplomatic reasoning. The man, however, was past the point of reason. With a grunt of frustration, he hurled the bag of garbage toward the front. It landed heavily near the edge of the stage, a visceral protest against municipal budget shifts. Melissa did not flinch. She simply stared at the man, her silence heavy and commanding. Beside her, Rhonda muttered under her breath, "Crazy guys with trash bags coming at you, and you stay the mature, rational adult." "Yes, I did," Melissa whispered back, though in her mind, she was adding a deeply satisfying, "Suck it, garbage guy." Before order could be fully restored, another figure rose from the back of the room. This man was different. He did not look like a disgruntled restaurant owner. He wore the remnants of expensive tailoring, a suit that spoke of boardrooms and high-stakes trading, but his demeanor was entirely frantic. His hairline was receding, but his eyes were sharp, manic, and locked directly onto Melissa. "Hey," Melissa said, pointing a steady finger toward him, trying to head off another outburst. "Do not be that guy. Do not be that guy who brings your garbage into a public arena and acts like a crazy person. Act like a gentleman. Thank you." But the man ignored her plea for decorum. He marched down the center aisle, his voice vibrating with a desperate, furious energy. "Now, where the hell is the money your brother-in-law stole from me?" A ripple of shocked whispers spread through the room. Melissa felt a sudden, familiar spike of exhaustion behind her eyes. "What, my sister?" she deflected, keeping her tone light but firm. "Okay, but that is not me." She looked out at the sea of faces, throwing her hands open in an appeal to shared humanity. "Let me ask the room, does anybody here have a relative they are not exactly proud of?" A few reluctant hands slowly raised. A murmur of sympathetic agreement washed over the crowd. "It is not just me," Melissa said, offering a tight, validating smile to the audience. She glanced back at the frantic man in the suit. "At least he was cute." "Yeah, I do not see it," the man muttered, though the wind seemed slightly taken out of his sails by the collective empathy of the room. Later, in the quiet sanctuary of the backstage hallway, Melissa let out a long, shuddering breath. The adrenaline was finally beginning to fade. Rhonda walked beside her, shaking her head in genuine awe. "You held your own up there. You really remind me of your father, the esteemed senator." Melissa paused, suddenly self-conscious. She sniffed the lapel of her blazer. "Oh my goodness, did I smell like strippers?" Rhonda laughed, a rich, ringing sound. "No, you smelled like authority." "Oh," Melissa said, visibly relaxing, a triumphant spark returning to her eyes. "Well, that is my fragrance." She smoothed her jacket, her confidence fully restored. "Yeah, I have to say, in all humility, I was, yes, smoking." She raised her hand. Up high, down low. Rhonda met her hand with a solid high five. "Okay," Rhonda added. "Plus, your brother-in-law and his various felonies totally shifted the focus of the meeting. I think you put the whole trash issue to bed." The victory, however, was short-lived. By the time Melissa arrived at her beautiful, sprawling home, the realities of her new life were literally piled up at her doorstep. She walked up the pathway, her heels clicking against the stone, only to stop dead in her tracks. Her 15-year-old niece, Lennox, was standing on the porch, staring blankly at a dark, foul-smelling mound. "Aunt Mel," Lennox said, her voice flat, devoid of any teenage inflection. "Why are angry white guys throwing trash at our front door?" Melissa sighed, massaging her temples. "There is a political debate in the community in which the majority feels as though." She stopped, realizing the futility of a political lecture. She picked up one of the bags, her nose wrinkling in disgust. "This is getting heavy, and really smelly." Lennox turned and opened the front door, stepping inside. "I am just going to leave this here for you, Aunt Mel. There are like 10 more on the porch." Melissa followed her niece inside, dropping her purse on the entryway table. The house, which used to be her pristine sanctuary, now hummed with the chaotic energy of displaced teenagers. She caught up to Lennox near the stairs. "Hey, Lennox, did you see the dresser I put in your room?" Melissa asked, striving for a tone of cheerful domesticity. Lennox paused on the bottom step, her expression guarded. Yeah, it is really cute, but I am okay. I have got suitcases." Melissa watched the girl ascend the stairs, a profound sadness mixing with her frustration. She turned to Rhonda, who had followed her inside to help with the evening transition. "She thinks living here is temporary," Melissa whispered. "Well, she no longer tells me what she thinks. It used to be, 'I will sneak out of the house, Aunt Mel. Let us get matching tattoos, Aunt Mel.' Now it is just, because I said so, Aunt Mel." Melissa threw her hands up. "I do horrible things like put furniture in her room. Clearly, I am a monster." Rhonda placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. Of course she is difficult. Do you not remember what you were like at 15? Not very clearly, Melissa admitted, staring blankly at the wall. I did a lot of drinking then. She shook her head, trying to clear away the memories of her own rebellious youth. She needed to focus on the present. I am going out tonight, so Rhonda is staying with you guys if you need anything. Ryder, her teenage nephew, wandered into the hallway, bouncing a basketball half-heartedly. Coach says you need a better jump shot, Melissa noted, pointing at the ball. You got one of those? Ryder challenged playfully, looking at Rhonda. Rhonda crossed her arms, feigning absolute seriousness. Yes, we Asian women are all about the hoops. She pointed a stern finger at the boy. So, if you have got any homework, do it. And beyond that, just, be good and do not torch the place. Ryder finished for her, a dark, self-deprecating humor in his voice. Yes, Melissa confirmed, not quite joking. She looked at Rhonda as Ryder walked away. It was one little single alarm fire. At his old house, the week his dad ran off. He was angry. He just stacked 20 of his dad's suits on the driveway, added some top-shelf cognac, and lit them up. In a way, Rhonda mused thoughtfully, we all need to let things out every now and then. No, we do not, Melissa countered instantly, her voice tight with panic. The urge to set things on fire we repress. She grabbed Rhonda's hands, squeezing them gratefully. Thanks for babysitting. I have not had a date since the kids moved in. It has been so long. I am actually nervous. Melissa hurried upstairs to her bedroom, pulling open the doors of her expansive closet. This was supposed to be her night. A night away from politics, away from the heavy mantle of sudden guardianship. A night just for her. She pulled out 2 dresses, holding them up against her body as she looked in the full-length mirror. All right, what do you think? She asked herself, turning side to side. These say smart, independent, bright political future. She tossed the first dress on the bed and held up a sleek, slightly more daring number. These say former bad girl. She is back. She smiled at her reflection. What, are you going hiking? That is yours. The ringing of the telephone shattered her peaceful moment. Melissa picked it up, her cheerful mood instantly evaporating at the sound of the voice on the other end. Hello? Channel school principal. She did what? What did she do? When? Where? Really? Today? Melissa sank onto the edge of the bed, the expensive fabric of her dress pooling around her. Lennox did that. Miss Lent, I find that hard to believe. No, she did not tell me. It is not at all typical. Of course I believe you. I know when something is serious. It is really serious. I am really sorry that this happened. I will talk to Lennox, but I am telling you, this could not have happened. She hung up the phone, the silence of the bedroom pressing in on her. The bad girl was not back. The responsible, overwhelmed aunt was entirely in charge. Downstairs, Rhonda was waiting. Melissa descended the steps slowly, the weight of the world back on her shoulders. Guess what? She said, her voice hollow. Today at school, Lennox handed out flyers containing an original poem, rhyming her principal's name in a creative way that did not go over well with Miss Lent. Rhonda winced. Not to send up a flare, but there is a possibility Channel 5 News has a story. Are you sure? Melissa asked, closing her eyes. Pretty sure. I was just on the air, denying it. Melissa dropped her head into her hands. 2 months. 2 months living with me and she gets suspended. Legal guardian of the year. Thank you. I keep telling you, Rhonda urged gently, hire somebody, an organizer, a professional. Those kids need structure and discipline and possibly electroshock therapy. And you, my dear friend, cannot do everything. Well, maybe not everything, Melissa said, standing up straight, summoning a fierce, protective energy. But I can certainly do this. It is just a matter of going up there and setting that girl straight. I have not moved yet, have I? She paused, a sudden wave of sorrow washing over her anger. Why is not my sister here to discipline her own daughter? Because she is locked up in federal prison. Melissa marched up the stairs and pushed open the door to Lennox's room. The space was still sparsely decorated, dominated by the unpacked suitcases. Lennox was sitting on the bed, staring at her phone. Remember you and me at the Fall Out Boy concert? Melissa started, trying to find a bridge, a connection to the girl she used to know. I just found this old picture. Lennox barely looked up. Oh, you mean the one that was hanging very obviously in the hallway outside the door? Not obviously, Melissa corrected gently. Affectionately. That was some night. Huh? Fall Out Boy. Woohoo. Lennox finally met her aunt's eyes, her expression weary. Where are we going with this? I was just remembering the good times, you know? Melissa said, sitting carefully on the edge of the bed. When we shared, told each other things, important things, that happened, today. Lennox let out a harsh, cynical laugh. Oh, come on. You did not think I got suspended with something you might share. Okay, I will share this, Lennox continued, her voice rising in defense. Miss Lent is a fascist. Why could you not have called her that? Melissa pleaded. Instead of, you know. Well, I never got in trouble at my old school, Lennox argued, crossing her arms defensively. That is because your parents bought the indoor pool, Melissa reminded her, stating the blunt, uncomfortable truth. Lennox rolled her eyes. It did not even have a spa. Like, what is up with that? Whatever. Melissa stood up, realizing that gentle nostalgia was not going to work. She had to be the parent now. Look, Miss Lent is expecting an apology. You and I have an appointment down in her office at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Lennox scoffed. Great. You let me know how that goes. Lennox, until you talk to her, you cannot go back to school, Melissa warned. Oh, well, guess I am not going back to school. Of course you are, Melissa insisted, her voice rising with a mix of authority and desperation. This is your education. Nothing is more important. The doorbell chimed downstairs, a bright, cheerful sound that starkly contrasted the tension in the room. Oh, that is my date, Melissa said, freezing in place. I have more to say. You just stay right there. I will. Stay. Melissa hurried downstairs, her heart pounding. She threw open the front door, a rehearsed, welcoming smile on her face. Oh, gross. I was expecting my date. Standing on her porch was not Griffin, the handsome captain of the football team she had been eagerly anticipating. It was the frantic man from the city council meeting. He looked even more disheveled up close, the lines of stress deeply etched into his face. I will be quick, the man said, holding up his hands in a gesture of surrender. I was a jackass down at City Hall. I never should have crashed your meeting asking where your brother-in-law was. That was wrong. And I just wanted to come here and say that I am sorry. Bolivia, Melissa blurted out, her nerves getting the better of her. The man physically jerked backward. Louis is in Bolivia, is he not? The man asked, his eyes wide. You just flinched. I flinched because you shouted Bolivia, Melissa shot back defensively. Okay, people in Bolivia flinched. Look, I do not know where the hell he is. Now get lost and leave me alone. Just as she moved to slam the door, Griffin appeared on the steps behind the strange man. Griffin looked immaculate. He held a small bouquet of flowers, and a warm, easy smile graced his perfectly chiseled features. Hi, Griffin, Melissa breathed, her heart sinking. She looked at him, taking in his perfect hair, his tailored shirt. Hey, do you not look nice and smell handsome? Griffin glanced at the bald man standing on the porch. Who is this guy? Oh, no guy, Melissa said quickly. She took a deep breath, stepping out onto the porch and closing the door slightly behind her. I am a... Look, Griffin, I know you have waited a long time for this date, and so have I. I mean, look, she gestured to herself. Great. Look, I have a niece in crisis and I really want to go on this date. But, I have to spend some time with her, and I so want to be spending time with you. But, man, you smell great. She stepped closer to Griffin, the scent of his expensive cologne wrapping around her. Look, I am really excited to buy this date, Melissa confessed, her voice thick with regret. I just cannot go on it, so let me do this. She reached up, grabbed the lapels of his jacket, and pulled him into a sudden, passionate, overwhelming kiss. It lasted only a moment, but it held all the pent-up frustration and desire of the past 2 months. When she pulled away, Griffin looked delightfully stunned. There, Melissa breathed, stepping back toward her door. That should hold you for a few weeks, maybe more. We just do not know. As she slipped back inside and closed the door, she heard the strange man on her porch mutter, "Wow, that is a whole bucket of gravy." The next morning, the sunlight streamed through the large windows of Melissa's living room, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. Melissa sat at the dining table, nursing a cup of coffee and rubbing her temples. The house was unnervingly quiet. Rhonda walked in, carrying a stack of manila folders. I know I am late." Melissa looked up, her eyes narrowing. "Really? That late?" "Yes, I filled out the paperwork for the nanny agency. It is right here," Rhonda said, tapping the folders proudly. Melissa sighed. "No kidding. I am late. You should have said that before." "Oh, dear God," Rhonda muttered. "Relax." The doorbell chimed again. Melissa groaned, resting her forehead on the cool wood of the table. "It is a happy visit today. May I?" Before she could answer, Rhonda went to the door. Melissa lifted her head just in time to see the strange man from the previous night striding into her home as if he owned the place. "No," Melissa said immediately, standing up. "So, I found the city budget online last night," the man began, entirely ignoring her protest. "And I went through it. Here is a thought. The cash in the general fund that is just sitting there? Hire me and I will double your rate of return. That way, you will have enough money for smaller class sizes and extra garbage pickups. And pie for everyone." He smiled, a bright, confident, salesman's smile. Melissa stared at him, bewildered. "That sounds like a great plan, and I would sign up immediately if you were not a complete lunatic." The man's smile faltered slightly, but his confidence remained intact. "Joseph Longo is not a lunatic." Melissa's eyes widened with recognition. "Joe Longo? You are Joe Longo? You ran Lewis's commodities division. You made him millions."
Légitimat million, yeah.
Joe nodded, a bitter edge creeping into his voice. "Your bastard brother-in-law pissed away." He caught himself taking a breath. "Sorry. Happy visit." "Yeah, you went all Bolivia there for a minute," Melissa noted drily. "Yeah," Joe agreed, stuffing his hands into his pockets. "So what do you think? Maybe you could get me a job downtown?" Melissa shook her head, feeling a twinge of genuine sympathy. "There is a hiring freeze. I am really sorry you lost your job." "Yeah, that is old news," Joe said, looking away, studying the intricate pattern of the living room rug. "Yesterday, I lost my condo." "Yeah, well, I really need to." "And now they are about to repossess my car," Joe interrupted, his voice hollow. "Oh, but here is the morning's big headline. The adorable Mrs. Longo has decamped to her mother's house." He let out a dark, empty laugh. "Oh God, I am really going to miss that car." Melissa paused, the reality of his situation sinking in. A man who had everything, reduced to absolutely nothing, standing in her hallway. "How can I put this nicely?" she started, trying to find the gentlest rejection possible. I have got my own problems." Joe looked at her, his desperation finally breaking through his slick veneer. "So you are not going to help me? Do you live in my district?" "Now that I am living in my car, yeah," Joe shot back. Melissa ran a hand through her hair, overwhelmed. "Look, I have got meetings, a trash revolt, a kid on the brink, and I am in desperate need of professional help. For the household, not me. She gestured toward the paperwork Rhonda had left. You are not going to find anybody this way. The salary sucks. It is living. It includes meals, Joe pointed out, reading upside down, which she will be cooking because otherwise people will starve. He looked up, his brow furrowed. She? It has to be a woman? Only, vagina Americans need apply. Melissa glared at him. Personal question, did your hair get sick of you and leave? This is a choice. All right, Joe said, raising his hands defensively. Look. We both know that is a lowball offer, all right? So come on. What is your top number there? That is my top number, Melissa stated firmly. Joe considered this for a fraction of a second. All right, you got a deal. I cannot start till Monday. Melissa was taken aback. Who offered you a job? All right, I can start today, Joe amended instantly. I am just going to have to, move a few things around. Mostly my car. Tuesday is street cleaning, is it not? You do know we are talking about a nanny here, right? Melissa asked, her voice laced with heavy skepticism. There are children involved. You ever work with kids? She pressed. Joe scoffed, puffing out his chest. Are you kidding? Right out of college, I ran a youth center downtown. I was in charge of 50 teenagers. Cooked them meals, helped them with their homework. I was Charles Friggin in charge. Melissa studied him. He was arrogant, desperate, and entirely unorthodox. But there was a fiery competence in his eyes, an energy that her chaotic household perhaps desperately needed. Yeah, you are perfect, Melissa finally said, crossing her arms. There is just one little detail. I do not really like you, she admitted bluntly. Before Joe could formulate a response, Ryder sprinted down the stairs, his backpack slung over one shoulder, panic radiating from every pore. You know about the school bus? Ryder yelled. Not running today. Jackson Street blocked because of some kind of garbage protest. Crap. Melissa closed her eyes, summoning patience from deep within. Oh, golly, tough break. Okay, I will take you. I will just miss my meeting. It is not like we need the police department. Joe stepped forward, a sudden, commanding presence. No. You will make your meeting. I will take him. He turned to the boy, extending a hand. Hey, hi, I am Joe. See that Porsche out there? Ryder looked out the window, his eyes widening in awe. Yeah, it is mine. For 10 more days, Joe added softly. He looked back at Ryder. Sweet. I do not know if that is your. Oh, screw it. Buckle up. Melissa watched them walk out the door, the sheer absurdity of the situation leaving her temporarily speechless. She turned to Rhonda, who had emerged from the kitchen, a piece of toast halfway to her mouth. Is not that the cute yelling guy from yesterday? Rhonda asked, her eyebrows raised. Yeah, Melissa said softly. He is a homeless commodities trader. He is taking care of the kids. How high do I sound right now? Rhonda chewed thoughtfully. Bottom line, she sounds great. The perfect nanny. You were right. I cannot do this alone. She paused. Wait, what, commodities trader? No, he is just temporary, Melissa assured her quickly. And he is not cute. No, he is not, Rhonda agreed, though a smile betrayed her words. He has no hair. Okay. Before we pull the nanny trigger, when do I interview this lady? Melissa asked, pointing at the agency files. Rhonda held up a finger, her phone pressed to her ear. Hello. Hold on a second. She looked at Melissa. Hey, let me ask you something. When is the last time anybody did any laundry in this household? You people live like pigs. Rhonda pulled a lacy garment from a nearby basket. These are my delicates. How did you get my delicates? Were you in my room? Melissa winced. Yeah, Pull the trigger. Later that afternoon, the house was quiet again. Melissa was in her home office, poring over city planning documents, trying to focus on zoning laws instead of the impending disaster that was her 3 o'clock meeting with the high school principal. She heard the heavy oak front door swing open, followed by the sound of footsteps on the hardwood. She stepped out of her office just in time to see Joe marching Ryder up the stairs. "Hey, Joe," Ryder was saying, looking miserable. "You were right. I should have that sandwich now." "Hey, Mel," Joe called out, not breaking his stride. He pointed a firm finger up the staircase. "All right, get back up there." Melissa hurried to the base of the stairs, her confusion morphing into anger. What is he doing home in the middle of the day? "His history paper," Joe replied simply, descending the stairs with easy grace. "What?" Melissa demanded. "Wow, all right, pack the veins back in your forehead. I took the kid to school, right? And he tells me he does not have his history paper. So we drive back here to get it, and then he tells me he did not exactly write it. And I said, well, you better exactly write it because it is due today. So he is up there writing it now. And he does not come out until it is done." Joe crossed his arms, looking exceptionally pleased with himself. "Huh? Now that is nannying." Melissa stared at him in disbelief. "You brought him home? You do not bring a kid home who has not done his work. You leave him at school to get yelled at, which is exactly what he has got coming. What kind of rules are those?" "The rules that everybody knows," Joe stated matter-of-factly. "I am somebody," Melissa countered. "I never heard of them." She checked her elegant wristwatch, panic spiking. "Lennox, you ready? It is time to go." Silence answered her. Melissa ran to the bottom of the stairs, looking up into the shadows of the second floor. "She is not here. Where is she?" She whipped around to face Joe. "You were supposed to watch her." "You never said that," Joe defended himself, holding his ground. "Because it is obvious," Melissa yelled, the stress finally boiling over. "The girl got suspended. She is gone. She has ditched the meeting." She stood there, breathing heavily, the reality of her failure crashing down upon her. Joe softened, seeing the genuine despair in her eyes. "You know what? You are right," he said quietly. Melissa blinked, caught off guard. "I just said you were right. That was a compliment." "Okay," Melissa said, shaking her head, trying to formulate a plan. "She has like 3 places she usually goes after school. I will start there." "You want me to help you?" Joe offered. "Yes, please do," Melissa said, grabbing her keys. "Nothing. I can work with this kid." "Wow." While Melissa scoured the local coffee shops and parks, Joe took a different approach. He knew the psychology of the displaced, the angry, and the lost. He did not look for her in the places she belonged. He looked for her in the places where people go to escape. He found Lennox on the flat, gravel-covered roof of the garage, sitting cross-legged, staring out at the skyline of the city. The wind whipped her hair across her face, but she did not brush it away. She looked incredibly small against the vast expanse of the sky. Joe climbed the rusty access ladder, grunting slightly with the effort, and stepped onto the roof. The gravel crunched under his expensive leather shoes. "Is this where you come for your adolescent brooding?" Joe asked, keeping his tone light as he walked over to her. Lennox did not look up. "You come up here to turn me in?" "It is not really my style," Joe said, easing himself down to sit a few feet away from her. "What is your style?" Lennox asked, finally glancing at him, her eyes guarded and suspicious. Joe looked out at the city, a wry smile touching his lips. Outlaw, cast out by the power brokers, forced to live a life in the city. Lennox snorted, a brief sound of amusement. "Oh, kind of like Batman if he had been demoted to a nanny." "Nice," Joe acknowledged, nodding his appreciation. He let the silence stretch for a moment, letting the ambient sounds of the city fill the space between them. Are you not supposed to be at a meeting at your principal's office right now? Lennox pulled her knees to her chest, wrapping her arms around them. Why should I? Crap goes on there all the time. Miss Lent fires the music teacher, completely gets rid of the band, and everybody is afraid to talk about it. I am tired of life being unfair. How about for once it just be fair? Joe sighed, the sound heavy with his own recent experiences with the universe's profound unfairness. I would be upset too, if my mom and dad bailed on me. You are talking about Miss Lent, Lennox corrected sharply, defensive walls slamming back up. You say so, Joe replied mildly. You do not know anything about me? Lennox snapped, glaring at him. Joe met her gaze steadily. You are right, I do not. But what I really do not know about you is why you are taking this all out on your aunt. Lennox looked away, her jaw tight. Because she is the only person who has not bailed on you, Joe continued, his voice softening, dropping the bravado. Look, I know she can get a little skitsy at times, all times, but since we are talking about fair, do you really think it is fair that she has to go down to your school all alone and eat your big bowl of stink for something that she did not do? Lennox frowned, her brow furrowing in confusion. Big bowl of stink? What is that? Joe stood up, brushing the gravel off his trousers. He looked down at her, his expression entirely serious. You will know when you have eaten one. He turned and walked back toward the ladder, leaving Lennox alone with the wind and the echo of his words. Downstairs, Melissa burst through the front door, her face flushed with exertion and panic. She looked around the empty living room. Any sign of our Lennox? She called out to the silent house. Receiving no answer, she checked her watch. It was 10 minutes to 3. She had to go. She had to face the music alone. The air in the principal's office was stifling, smelling faintly of old paper and institutional lemon polish. Miss Lent sat behind an expansive mahogany desk, her hands folded primly together. She possessed the kind of severe, unyielding posture that seemed entirely immune to human emotion. Melissa sat in the uncomfortable wooden chair opposite her, feeling more like a delinquent student than a powerful city councilwoman. Oh, Miss Lent, Melissa began, her voice pleading. Look, I know what Lennox did was bad, really, really bad. But if any kid has the right to be upset about what life has handed her. Look, I am not trying to excuse Lennox, I am just saying if I was Lennox, I probably would have done worse by now. In fact, I did. Miss Lent adjusted her glasses, her expression unchanging. This is pointless without Lennox. Why do we not just reschedule? You think you can manage to find her by, say, tomorrow afternoon? Miss Lent asked, a hint of condescension threading through her words. Melissa shook her head rapidly. Oh, tomorrow's city council session is all day. But we take lunch 12 to 1. I do not know when you break. Miss Lent leaned forward, resting her elbows on the desk. Miss Burke, parenting does not fit into nice little schedule boxes. You know, it might be helpful to look not just at what Lennox is doing, but at the job you are doing. Melissa felt a hot flush of shame and anger rise in her cheeks. Before she could formulate a defense, the heavy oak door of the office swung open. Lennox stood in the doorway. She looked nervous, her posture stiff, but there was a new determination in her eyes. She is doing okay, Lennox said, her voice clear and surprisingly strong. Melissa turned around in her chair, absolute shock washing over her. Hey! Lennox walked into the room, coming to stand beside Melissa's chair. She looked directly at the principal. I am sorry I am late, and I am sorry about the other day with the poem, and I am sorry about the stuff that I said. I was mad, and apparently not really at you. Lennox looked down at her aunt, a tentative, genuine softness in her expression. But there is no need to blame my aunt. She has been getting enough of that for me. You know, at least she is trying. Melissa stared at her niece, her heart swelling with an unexpected, overwhelming wave of emotion. The defensive walls had cracked, just a fraction, allowing a sliver of light to shine through. Okay, whatever, Lennox muttered, suddenly self-conscious. She pulled up a chair and sat down heavily. Let us just get to the stink-eating part. Miss Lent blinked, thoroughly bewildered. The what-eating part? Later that evening, the atmosphere in the house felt lighter, less suffocated by tension. Melissa walked into the kitchen, a genuine smile on her face. Joe was standing near the counter, swaying slightly to an invisible rhythm, looking far more relaxed than the desperate man who had begged for a job that morning. All right, let us see what you got, Melissa challenged playfully, walking past him toward the refrigerator. Joe executed a surprisingly smooth slide across the linoleum, finishing with a sharp, rhythmic turn. Here's a thought, my hip young brother man, Melissa laughed, pulling out a bottle of water. Try loosening up your knees a little bit. You are welcome. She took a drink, leaning against the cool counter, looking at him with a new sense of respect. I heard about all the crap you have been going through. You know, with your wife going broke, losing your car, your condo. I mean, how can you even walk? She realized instantly how callous that sounded and covered her mouth. Oh, sorry. I did not mean to. No, it is all right, Joe said, waving a hand dismissively. His smile was tight, but genuine. I am aware that my life is an abyss of inky black despair. Thanks for the pep talk. Hey, Lennox called out, wandering into the kitchen. She looked at Joe, a small, almost imperceptible smile on her face. Could you show me how to do that? Only if you taped it, Joe replied with a shrug. I have no idea. Melissa watched the brief, easy interaction between them, a sense of wonder washing over her. Oh, I am sorry, she said, realizing she was staring. I am sorry. Your aunt, Lennox said, looking at Melissa. I meant your aunt. Hey, Melissa said, turning her attention fully to her niece. So I ate my whole big bowl of stink. I even went back for seconds. Lennox winced playfully. Ugh. I am going to go brush my teeth now. She turned and headed toward the stairs. As soon as Lennox was out of earshot, Melissa turned to Joe, extending her hands, palms up. Hands, she commanded. Joe looked confused, but slowly extended his hands. It was you, Melissa declared, her eyes shining with realization. You talked her into going down there. How did you talk her into going down there? Joe puffed out his chest slightly, a smug smile spreading across his face. People like me. No, really, Melissa pressed, crossing her arms. Joe's smile vanished. He looked around the kitchen conspiratorially before leaning in. I paid her $50. Melissa gasped, her jaw dropping. A bribe? That is terrible. Not only is that wrong, that is horrible parenting. Well, I am not a parent, Joe pointed out calmly. And neither are you. Melissa opened her mouth to argue, then stopped. Can I have $50? No, Joe said instantly. Then relax, all right? Joe continued, pouring himself a cup of coffee. I wrote Lennox a personal check. He made a small, bouncing motion with his hand. Boing. Another very valuable life lesson. Melissa stared at him, a mixture of horror and profound amusement warring within her. So is this how you ran your youth center right out of college? Joe took a sip of his coffee, looking entirely unrepentant. Oh, please, there was no youth center. Can I speak to you in the other room? Melissa demanded, pointing toward the hallway. Nice knowing you, Joe muttered to his coffee cup as he followed her. Oh, I will be fine. In the privacy of the living room, Melissa rounded on him. You lie, you bribe. Is there anything you will not do? Windows, Joe replied deadpan. Look, Burke, I am just trying to help you out here, you know? I mean, I may have played it fast and loose, but Lennox apologized to that lung woman, right? Yes, Melissa admitted, her anger deflating. Yes, she did. She also, as it happens, said a few nice things about me. In front of me. It is the first time since she has been here. Frankly, it took my breath away. She looked at him closely, a sudden suspicion returning. Oh my God. You did not pay her to do that too, did you? No, Joe said, his voice softening, a genuine warmth in his eyes. She gave me that one free of charge. Although it may be my mere presence in this household that is sort of seamlessly pulling everything together. Melissa rolled her eyes, but she could not hide her smile. Oh my God. Let us believe that. She walked over to the entryway table, picking up the stack of manila folders Rhonda had left that morning. Oh, I almost forgot. A Regency nanny has called. They said that Mrs. Dietrich is available and that she will be here at 8 in the morning tomorrow morning. Joe stood very still, his cocky facade crumbling instantly. The desperation, the deep, terrifying reality of his situation, rushed back into his eyes. He looked at Melissa, waiting for the final blow. You did not think I could handle this, did you? Joe asked quietly. Melissa looked at him, seeing past the bravado, past the lies, to the core of the man standing in front of her. He was flawed, arrogant, and entirely inappropriate for the job. But he had managed, in a single day, to do what she had been failing to do for 2 months. He had connected. He had brought a fractured family just a little bit closer together. To be honest, no, Melissa admitted. Not until you, pulled all that confidence out of your ass. She tossed the agency folders into the recycling bin near the door. Joe let out a breath he seemed to have been holding for hours. So, is this official now? Because, if not, I can just, hop in my house and drive away. Melissa smiled, extending her hand. Yeah, let us give it a shot. How bad could you be? Joe took her hand, his grip firm and warm. You will find out, will you not? Hours later, deep into the quiet darkness of the night, Melissa finally returned home. The house was completely silent, the kind of deep, peaceful quiet that spoke of slumbering teenagers and restored order. She walked into the kitchen, slipping off her heels with a sigh of relief. Joe was sitting at the small breakfast table, an open book illuminated by a single pendant light above him. So, how did your date go that lasted until 3 freaking in the morning? Joe asked, not looking up from his book. Melissa leaned against the counter, a tired, happy smile on her face. Leave me alone, Mom. It is not a school night, and he was captain of the football team. She closed her eyes, savoring the memory of the evening, before opening them with a sudden realization. God, wow, I just realized I have never actually had that conversation with my own mom. I would come in at 3 in the morning, and she would send me back out for gin. She shook her head, focusing back on the present. So, how did the kids get to bed? Joe closed his book, marking the page. Ryder knocked out about 11, and Lennox was, 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 in the morning? Melissa repeated, her maternal instincts flaring instantly. All right, she just got in bed now when she heard the car pulling in, Joe admitted, raising his hands in surrender. But she is caught up on biology and math, and the 5th season of Lost. Melissa laughed, a genuine, bell-like sound that echoed softly in the quiet kitchen. She walked over to the table, looking down at the strange, infuriating, entirely unexpected man who had somehow become the glue holding her chaotic life together. Army Delivery Council, babe! A booming voice echoed from the hallway, shattering the peaceful atmosphere. Melissa jumped, spinning around. Does it? What is that face? Did you forget something? A massive, impossibly muscular man squeezed through the entryway, carrying a large, heavy wooden box that looked suspiciously like the disassembled pieces of a new wardrobe. Hey! Melissa shouted, stepping back, completely overwhelmed by the sudden intrusion. Holy nuts! That guy is huge. She turned back to Joe, her eyes wide with a mixture of panic and exhaustion. The fragile peace of the evening was gone, replaced once again by the chaotic, unpredictable reality of her new life. Mel. Joe started trying to explain. Mel, this guy. Melissa interrupted, pointing frantically at the doorway, her voice rising in disbelief. I am not kidding. This guy is huge, Mel. Joe just smiled, a slow, affectionately. That was some night. Huh? We had fun. Where are we going with this? I was just remembering the good times, you know? When we shared, told each other things. Important things. That happened. Today. Oh, come on, Lennox scoffed. You did not think I got suspended with something you might want me to share? Okay, I will share this, Lennox continued, sitting up. Miss Lent is a tyrant. Why could you not have called her that? Mel pleaded. Instead of, you know. Well, I never got in trouble at my old school, Lennox argued. That is because your parents bought the indoor pool, Mel reminded her gently. Look, Miss Lent is expecting an apology. You and I have an appointment down in her office at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Great. You let me know how that goes, Lennox replied, lying back down. Lennox, until you talk to her, you cannot go back to school. Oh, well, guess I am not going back to school. Of course you are, Mel insisted, her voice rising. This is your education. Nothing is more important. The doorbell chimed downstairs. Mel smoothed her dress, her mind a whirlwind of frustration. Oh, that is my date. I have more to say. You just stay right there. I will be right back. Stay. Mel hurried down the stairs, pasting a bright, welcoming smile onto her face. She pulled open the front door, expecting the charming man she was supposed to spend the evening with. Instead, she found Joseph Longo standing on her porch. He looked entirely out of place in her quiet suburban neighborhood. Oh, gross, Mel blurted out, her smile dropping instantly. I was expecting my date. Joe held up his hands defensively. I will be quick. I was a complete fool down at City Hall. I never should have crashed your meeting asking where your brother-in-law was. That was wrong. And I just wanted to come here and say that I am sorry. Mel crossed her arms, her guard fully up. Bolivia. Louis is in Bolivia, is he not? Joe visibly flinched. You just flinched? Mel noted, narrowing her eyes. I flinched because you shouted Bolivia. Joe defended himself hastily. Okay, people in Bolivia flinched. Look, I do not know where the hell he is. Now get lost and leave me alone. Just as Mel was about to slam the door, Griffin, her actual date, walked up the pathway. He looked handsome, holding a small bouquet of flowers, completely oblivious to the tense standoff occurring on the porch. Hi, Griffin, Mel greeted him, her voice softening. Hey, do you not look nice and smell handsome? Griffin looked at Joe, confused. Who is this guy? Oh, no guy, Mel said quickly. Look, Griffin, I know you have waited a long time for this date, and so have I. I mean, look at us. Great. Look, I have a niece in crisis, and I really want to go on this date. But, you know, I have to spend some time with her, and I so want to be spending time with you. But, man, you smell great. She paused, making a rapid, agonizing decision. Look, I am really excited about this date. I just cannot go on it right now. So let me do this. She leaned in and gave Griffin a long, passionate kiss right there on the porch, leaving him completely stunned. There, Mel whispered, pulling back. That should hold you for a few weeks, maybe more. We just do not know. Griffin blinked, swaying slightly. Wow, that is a whole bucket of gravy. He turned and stumbled back down the walkway, a dazed smile on his face. Mel turned back to the house, finding Rhonda standing in the hallway, holding a stack of papers.
Unda.
I know I am late, Mel said exhaustedly. Really? That late? Rhonda teased gently. Yes, I filled out the paperwork for the nanny agency. It is right here. No kidding. I am late. You should have said that before. Joe, who was still hovering awkwardly on the porch, cleared his throat. Relax. It is a happy visit today. May I? Without waiting for an answer, he stepped inside. So, I found the city budget online last night, and I went through it. Here is a thought. The cash in the general fund that is just sitting there? Hire me and I will double your rate of return. That way, you will have enough money for smaller class sizes and extra garbage pickups. And pie for everyone. Mel stared at him, incredulous. That sounds like a great plan, and I would sign up immediately if you were not a complete lunatic. Joseph Longo is not a lunatic, he stated firmly. Recognition finally sparked in Mel's eyes. Joe Longo? You are Joe Longo? You ran Lewis's commodities division. You made him millions. Legitimate millions. Yeah, Joe agreed, a hint of pride in his voice, quickly followed by deep bitterness. Your terrible brother-in-law threw it all away. Mel's expression softened slightly. Sorry. Happy visit. Yeah, you went all Bolivia there for a minute, Joe muttered. Yeah, so what do you think? Maybe you could get me a job downtown? There is a hiring freeze, Mel explained honestly. I am really sorry you lost your job. Joe let out a hollow, humorless laugh. Yeah, that is old news. Yesterday, I lost my condo. Oh, well, I really need to get back to my niece. And now they are about to repossess my car, Joe continued, the desperation bleeding through his bravado. Oh, but here is the morning's big headline. The adorable Mrs. Longo has packed up and moved back to her mother's house. Mel felt a pang of genuine sympathy. Oh, goodness. I am really going to miss that car. Joe stared at her. How can I put this nicely? I have got my own problems. So you are not going to help me? Do you live in my district? Mel asked. Now that I am living in my car, yeah? Joe replied, his tone deadpan but his eyes pleading. Mel sighed, rubbing the bridge of her nose. The weight of the day was catching up to her. Look, I have got meetings, a trash revolt, a kid on the brink, and I am in desperate need of professional help. For the household, not me. Joe's eyes lit up as he glanced at the nanny agency paperwork resting on the table. You are not going to find anybody this way. This salary is terrible. It is a living, Mel defended. It includes meals, which she will be cooking because otherwise people will starve. She? Joe asked, stepping closer. It has to be a woman? Mel raised an eyebrow. Are you offering? Personal question. Joe deflected smoothly. Did your hair get sick of you and leave? Or is this a choice? All right, Mel said, holding up a hand to stop him. Look, we both know that is a low offer, all right? So come on. What is your top number there? That is my top number, Mel insisted. Joe looked around the messy house, calculating his non-existent options. All right, you have got a deal. I cannot start until Monday. Who offered you a job? Mel shot back, incredulous. All right, I can start today, Joe quickly amended. I am just going to have to, move a few things around. Mostly my car. Tuesday is street cleaning, is it not? Mel looked at him, completely unconvinced. You do know we are talking about a nanny here, right? There are children involved. Have you ever worked with kids? Joe puffed out his chest, leaning entirely on pure confidence and fabrication. Are you kidding? Right out of college, I ran a youth center downtown. I was in charge of 50 teenagers, cooked them meals, helped them with their homework. I was totally in charge. Mel studied his face, looking for the lie but finding only a desperate man willing to do whatever it took to survive. Yeah, you are perfect. There is just one little detail. I do not really like you. Before Joe could formulate a comeback, Ryder ran down the stairs, backpack slung over one shoulder, panic on his face. You know about the school bus? It is not running today. Jackson Street block because of some kind of garbage protest. Crap, 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 Mel chanted, grabbing her keys. Oh, I mean, golly, tough break. Okay, I will take you. I will just miss my morning meeting. I mean, it is not like we need the police department. Joe stepped forward smoothly, seizing the opportunity to prove himself. No, 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 no. You will make your meeting. I will take him. He held out his hand to the bewildered teenager. Hey, I am Joe. See that beautiful car out there? Joe pointed out the window. Yeah, it is mine. For 10 more days. Sweet. Ryder looked impressed. I do not know if that is your. Oh, forget it, Joe said, grabbing Ryder's arm. Buckle up. As they walked out the door, Ryder leaned back in. Is that not the yelling guy from yesterday? Yeah. Mel nodded, still not quite believing what was happening. He is a homeless commodities trader. He is taking care of you kids now. How crazy do I sound right now? She turned back to Rhonda, who was watching the entire exchange with an amused expression. Bottom line, he sounds great. The perfect nanny. You were right. I cannot do this alone. What? A commodities trader? Rhonda asked skeptically. No, he is just temporary. And he is not cute. No, he is not. He has no hair, Rhonda agreed, though there was a twinkle in her eye. Okay. Before we fully commit, when do I interview the actual agency lady? Hello? Joe's voice echoed from the front hall as he briefly ducked back inside. Hold on a second. Hey, let me ask you something. When is the last time anybody did any laundry in this household? You people live like animals. These are my delicate items. Mel snatched a basket from his hands. How did you get my delicates? Were you in my room? Yeah, Joe replied unapologetically. Pull the trigger. He vanished back out the door. Mel stood there, holding her laundry, completely flabbergasted. Hey Joe, you were right. I should have eaten that sandwich. A short while later, Joe and Ryder burst back through the front door. Hey Mel, Joe called out cheerfully. He pointed a stern finger at Ryder. All right, get back up there. Mel, who had just managed to gather her thoughts and her files for the day, looked at them in confusion. What is he doing home in the middle of the day? His history paper, Joe declared proudly, crossing his arms. What? Mel demanded, her blood pressure rising again. Wow. All right. Pack the veins back into your forehead. Joe cautioned, holding up his hands. I took the kid to school, right? And he tells me he does not have his history paper. So we drive back here to get it, and then he tells me he did not exactly write it. And I said, well, you better exactly write it because it is due today. So he is up there writing it now. And he does not come out until it is done. Joe beamed, clearly expecting praise. Now that is nannying. Mel stared at him in utter disbelief. You brought him home? You do not bring a kid home who has not done his work. You leave him at school to get yelled at, which is what he has got coming. What kind of rules are those? The rules that everybody knows, Joe shrugged. I am somebody. I never heard of them. Mel decided not to argue. She had bigger battles to fight. She walked to the bottom of the stairs. Lennox, are you ready? It is time to go. Silence answered her. Mel marched upstairs, pushed open Lennox's door, and found the room completely empty. She rushed back down, panic setting in. She is not here, Mel said, her voice shaking slightly. Where is she? You were supposed to watch her. Joe looked defensive. You never said that. Because it is obvious. Mel yelled. The girl got suspended. She is gone. She has ditched the meeting. Joe rubbed his bald head, sighing. You know what? You are right. I just said you were right. That was a compliment. Okay. Mel breathed deeply, trying to focus. She has like 3 places she usually goes after school. I will start there. Do you want me to help you? Joe offered, his tone softening with genuine concern. Yes, please do, Mel said, rushing out the door. While Mel scoured the local coffee shops and parks, Joe decided to take a different approach. He climbed up to the roof, pushing open the heavy skylight window. Sure enough, Lennox was sitting there, her knees pulled to her chest, staring out at the suburban horizon. Nothing, Joe muttered to himself, admiring the view. I can work with this kid. He stepped out onto the roof carefully. Wow, is this where you come for your adolescent brooding? Lennox did not turn around. Did you come up here to turn me in? It is not really my style, Joe replied, sitting down a few feet away from her. What is your style? Lennox asked sarcastically. Outlaw, Joe said smoothly. Cast out by the power brokers. Forced to live a life in the city. Lennox finally looked at him, a tiny smile playing on her lips. Oh, kind of like Batman if he had been demoted to a nanny. Nice, Joe chuckled. Are you not supposed to be at a meeting at your principal's office right now? Why should I? Lennox fired back, the anger returning to her eyes. Crap goes on there all the time. Miss Lent fires the music teacher, completely gets rid of the band, and everybody is afraid to talk about it. I am tired of life being unfair. How about for once it just be fair? Joe nodded slowly, understanding the deep, aching injustice of being a teenager when the adults around you were failing. I would be upset too, if my mom and dad bailed on me. You are talking about Miss Lent, Lennox deflected immediately. If you say so, Joe replied gently. You do not know anything about me, Lennox snapped. You are right, I do not, Joe agreed. But what I really do not know about you is why you are taking this all out on your aunt. Lennox looked away, her tough exterior cracking just a fraction. Because she is the only person who has not bailed on you, Joe continued softly. Look, I know she can get a little crazy at times. All times, really. But since we are talking about fair, do you really think it is fair that she has to go down to your school all alone and eat your big bowl of stink for something that she did not do? Lennox blinked, her brow furrowing in confusion. Big bowl of stink? What is that? Joe stood up, brushing off his trousers. You will know when you have eaten one. Down at the high school, Mel sat nervously in the principal's office. Miss Lent, a severe woman with no time for nonsense, tapped her pen on the desk. Any sign of our Lennox? Miss Lent asked sharply. Mel shifted uncomfortably in her chair. Oh, Miss Lent, look, I know what Lennox did was bad. Okay, really, really bad. But if any kid has the right to be upset about what life has handed her. Look, I am not trying to excuse Lennox. I am just saying, if I was Lennox, I probably would have done worse by now. In fact, I did. Miss Lent remained entirely unmoved. This is pointless without Lennox. Why do we not just reschedule? You think you can manage to find her by, say, tomorrow afternoon? Mel pulled out her planner, frantic. Oh, tomorrow's city council session is all day. But we take lunch between 12 and 1. I do not know when you break. Miss Lent leaned forward, her expression patronizing. Miss Burke, parenting does not fit into nice little schedule boxes. You know, it might be helpful to look not just at what Lennox is doing, but at the job you are doing. Mel bristled, her protective instincts flaring. She is doing okay. Just as the tension in the room reached a breaking point, the heavy office door swung open. Lennox stood in the doorway, looking small but determined. Joe stood behind her in the hallway, giving an encouraging nod before stepping out of sight. Hey, Lennox said quietly, walking into the room. I am sorry I am late, and I am sorry about the other day with the poem, and I am sorry about the stuff that I said. She looked at Miss Lent, then turned her gaze to Mel. I was mad, and apparently not really at you, but there is no need to blame my aunt. She has been getting enough of that from me. You know, at least she is trying. Lennox crossed her arms, looking down. Okay, whatever. Let us just get to the stink-eating part. Miss Lent looked bewildered. The what-eating part? Later that evening, back at the house, the atmosphere was significantly lighter. Mel walked into the living room to find Joe showing Ryder some incredibly smooth, old-school basketball moves. All right, let us see what you got, Joe challenged the boy. Here is a thought, my hip young brother. Try loosening up your knees a little bit. You are welcome. Ryder tried the move and sank an imaginary shot. He grinned at Joe. I heard about all the crap you have been going through. You know, with your wife going broke, losing your car, your condo. I mean, how can you even walk? Ryder's face instantly dropped as he realized what he had just said. Oh, sorry. I did not mean to. No, 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 it is all right, Joe said dryly, catching the invisible ball. I am aware that my life is an abyss of inky black despair. Thanks for the pep talk. Hey, could you show me how to do that? Only if you taped it, Ryder laughed. I have no idea. Mel walked fully into the room, a warm, exhausted smile on her face. Oh, I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. Your aunt. I meant your aunt. She looked at Joe, her eyes filled with genuine gratitude. Hey, so I ate my whole big bowl of stink. I even went back for seconds. I am going to go brush my teeth now. Lennox walked through the room, grabbing an apple from the bowl. Hands. Mel turned to Joe, the realization finally dawning on her. It was you. You talked her into going down there. How did you talk her into going down there? Joe smiled modestly. People like me. No, really, Mel pressed. I paid her $50, Joe confessed casually. Mel's jaw dropped. A bribe? That is terrible. Not only is that wrong, that is horrible parenting. Well, I am not a parent and neither are you, Joe pointed out accurately. Ryder leaned in eagerly. Can I have $50? No, Mel and Joe said simultaneously. Then relax, all right? Joe told Mel. I wrote Lennox a personal check. He made a bouncing motion with his hand and mouthed the word. Boing. Mel gasped softly. Another very valuable life lesson. So is this how you ran your youth center right out of college? Joe waved his hand dismissively. Oh, please, there was no youth center. Mel pointed firmly to the kitchen. Can I speak to you in the other room? Nice knowing you, Ryder whispered to Joe. Oh, I will be fine, Joe assured him confidently. In the kitchen, Mel crossed her arms, staring him down. You lie, you bribe. Is there anything you will not do? Windows, Joe deadpanned. Look, Burke, I am just trying to help you out here, you know? I mean, I may have played it fast and loose, but Lennox apologized to that woman, right? Yes, Mel conceded softly. Yes, she did. She also, as it happens, said a few nice things about me. In front of me. It is the first time since she has been here. Frankly, it took my breath away. She narrowed her eyes suspiciously. Oh my goodness, you did not pay her to do that too, did you? No, yo smiled warmly. She gave me that one free of charge. Although it may be my mere presence in this household that is sort of seamlessly pulling everything together. Mel rolled her eyes but could not hide her smile. Let us believe that. Oh, I almost forgot. A nanny agency called. They said that Mrs. Dietrich is available and that she will be here at 8 tomorrow morning. Joe looked genuinely surprised. You did not think I could handle this, did you? To be honest, no, Mel admitted. Not until you pulled all that confidence out of nowhere. Joe looked around the kitchen, feeling a strange sense of attachment to the chaotic household. So, is this official now? Because, if not, I can just hop in my house and drive away. Mel looked at him, seeing past the bravado to the man who genuinely needed a second chance, and who had just given her family one. Yeah, Mel nodded slowly. Let us give it a shot. How bad could you be? You will find out, will you not? Joe smirked. The next morning, the sun streamed into the kitchen. Mel stumbled downstairs, looking thoroughly exhausted but radiantly happy. Joe was already at the stove flipping pancakes. So, how did your date go that lasted until 3 in the morning? Joe asked, not turning around. Leave me alone, Mom, Mel groaned, pouring herself a cup of coffee. It is not a school night, and he was captain of the football team. Wow, I just realized I have never actually had that conversation with my own mom. I would come in at 3 in the morning, and she would send me back out for gin. She took a sip of her coffee, savoring the quiet. So, how did the kids get to bed? Ryder knocked out about 11, Joe reported efficiently, and Lennox was around 1:30. 1:30,
Mel gasped.
all right. She just got in bed now when she heard the car pulling in, Joe admitted. But she is caught up on biology and math, and season 5 of that island television show. Suddenly, the front door rattled with a loud, aggressive knock. A massive, heavily muscled man wearing a delivery uniform stood on the porch, holding a clipboard. "Army Delivery Council, babe," the man shouted through the glass. Mel jumped, nearly spilling her coffee. "Does it? What is that face? Did you forget something? Hey, holy nuts, that guy is huge." She rushed toward the door, yelling back over her shoulder. Mel, this guy. I am not kidding. This guy is absolutely huge, Mel." And with that chaotic, loud, and entirely unpredictable morning, the new, unconventional family had officially begun their life together. Melanie Burke often felt as though her daily existence was being recorded in front of a live studio audience. Every misstep, every triumph, every awkward family dynamic seemed to play out under the glaring, unforgiving lights of public scrutiny. As a local city councilwoman, her life was no longer entirely her own. It belonged to the voters, the press, and, most recently, to the 2 displaced teenagers currently occupying the spare bedrooms of her suburban home. The heavy oak doors of the city council chambers swung shut, momentarily muffling the chaotic din of the municipal building. Melanie took a deep, steadying breath, adjusting the lapels of her sharp, tailored blazer. She was a woman who commanded a room, not through sheer volume, but through a potent combination of intellect, sheer willpower, and a wardrobe that silently demanded respect. Rhonda, her trusted friend and political confidant, leaned against the heavy mahogany table in the antechamber. Rhonda possessed a sharp wit and an unparalleled ability to cut through the tension of municipal politics. She looked Melanie up and down, a slow, approving smile spreading across her face. "Look at you," Rhonda murmured, her tone a perfect blend of professional admiration and personal affection, a dedicated public servant by day and an absolute hottie by night. Melanie allowed herself a brief, tired smile. She smoothed an invisible wrinkle from her skirt. "Well, I have to turn on the heat during the day, Rhonda, or nobody gets anything done in this town. You know how it is. If I do not project absolute authority, the entire municipal infrastructure crumbles before lunchtime." Rhonda chuckled, flipping open a heavily tabbed binder. "Ooh, the council story is up next. From now on, we are officially capping elementary school class sizes at 22 students. It is a massive victory, Mel. A genuine step forward for the education system." "Tell that to the mob outside," Melanie muttered, her momentary pride overshadowed by the reality of local governance. She walked out into the main chamber, stepping up to the polished wooden podium. The room was packed, the air thick with the collective frustration of tax-paying citizens who felt slighted by the sudden shift in municipal resources. A heavy-set man in the 3rd row, his face flushed with righteous indignation, stood up abruptly, pointing a trembling finger at her. "This is garbage," the man bellowed, his voice echoing off the high ceilings. "Literally garbage. It is piling up in front of my restaurant because you cut the local pickups to once a week. My customers are stepping over refuse to buy their morning coffee." Melanie maintained her posture, her expression one of calm, practiced empathy. "Sir, I understand your frustration. However, a reduction in the municipal trash service is exactly what pays for the smaller class sizes in our elementary schools. We had to make a choice between the sanitation budget and the future of our children's education." As she spoke, she noticed a sudden movement from the back of the room. It was not just verbal opposition today. People were angry. Before she could fully process the shift in the room's energy, She found herself navigating a barrage of complaints, maintaining the stoic grace of a mature, rational adult even as figurative, and nearly literal garbage was hurled in her direction. She kept her voice steady, her arguments logical, and her temper firmly in check. She was, after all, a Burke. Later, retreating to the safety of the backstage corridor, Melanie let out a long exhale. "Yes, I did it," she whispered to herself, a small surge of adrenaline coursing through her veins. "Suck it, garbage guy." But the day was far from over. Just as she thought she had survived the worst of the town hall meeting, the heavy double doors at the back of the auditorium burst open. A man strode down the center aisle. He was dressed in a suit that, under different circumstances, would have commanded a boardroom, but his current demeanor was anything but professional. His eyes were wild, his jaw set in a tight line of pure desperation. "Hey!" Melanie called out from the stage, her political polish slipping just a fraction. "Do not be that guy." The man kept walking, his gaze locked directly on her. "Do not be that guy that brings your personal garbage into a public arena and acts like a crazy person," Melanie continued, projecting her voice to reach him over the murmurs of the confused crowd. "Act like a gentleman. Thank you." The man finally reached the front of the stage, ignoring the security guard who had taken a hesitant step toward him. "Now," the man demanded, his voice thick with suppressed rage, "where the hell is the money your brother-in-law stole from me?" A collective gasp rippled through the audience. Melanie felt a cold knot form in her stomach. Her brother-in-law, Louis. The very name was a curse word in her household, synonymous with financial ruin and familial devastation. Louis had orchestrated a massive corporate fraud scheme, swindling millions from innocent investors before fleeing the country, leaving Melanie's sister to face the federal authorities, and leaving Melanie to pick up the shattered pieces of their family. "What?" Melanie stammered, caught off guard. "My sister? Okay, but that is not me. I am not Louis. I am not my sister." The man stood firm, an unmovable object of financial despair. Melanie took a deep breath, scanning the faces of her constituents. She needed to diffuse the situation and fast. She stepped out from behind the podium, addressing the crowd directly. "Let me ask the room," she began, her voice carrying a tone of weary solidarity. "Does anybody here have a relative they are not exactly proud of?" A tense silence hung in the air for a second before a few reluctant murmurs of agreement washed over the crowd. An older woman in the second row slowly raised her hand. A man near the aisle nodded solemnly. "See," Melanie said, turning back to the angry man with a sympathetic shrug. "It is not just me." Back at the Burke residence, the sanctuary of home offered little respite from the chaos of the public sphere. Rhonda had accompanied Melanie back to the house to debrief the council meeting. They sat in the expansive, warmly lit kitchen, the heart of a home that suddenly felt too large and yet suffocatingly small all at once. "At least he was cute," Rhonda noted casually, swirling a glass of iced tea. "Yeah, I do not see it," Melanie replied, rubbing her temples. She felt a headache forming right behind her eyes. "But you held your own up there, Mel. You really did. You remind me of your father, the esteemed senator. He would have been proud of how you handled that." Melanie sighed, glancing down at her blazer. "Oh, my God. Did I smell like strippers? Tell me I did not smell like desperation and bad decisions." "No," Rande laughed heartily. "You smelled like authority." Melanie's lips twitched into a small, weary smile. "Oh, well, that is my fragrance. Authority by Chanel. Yeah, I have to say, in all humility, I was, yes, smoking." She raised a hand, demanding a high five. "Up high, down low. Okay." Rhonda obliged, slapping Melanie's hand with a grin. "Plus, if you want to look at the bright side, your brother-in-law's various international felonies totally shifted the focus of the meeting. I think you put the whole municipal trash issue to bed for the time being." Before Melanie could celebrate this minor political victory, the front door rattled. Her 15-year-old niece, Lennox, shuffled into the kitchen. Lennox was a striking girl, carrying the heavy burden of adolescent angst compounded by a profound family tragedy. She looked at her aunt with a mixture of exhaustion and teenage disdain. "Aunt Mel," Lennox began, her voice flat, "why are angry white guys throwing trash at our front door?" Melanie pinched the bridge of her nose. "There is a complex political debate in the community right now, Lennox, in which the majority feels as though." "This is getting heavy," Lennox interrupted, dropping her backpack onto the pristine kitchen floor. "And really smelly. I am just going to leave this here for you, Aunt Mel." She gestured toward the front hall. "There are like 10 more garbage bags on the porch." Melanie groaned internally. "Hey, Lennox. Lennox, sweetheart. Did you see the new dresser I put in your room today?" Lennox paused at the base of the staircase, her expression unreadable. Yeah, it is really cute. But I am okay. I have got my suitcases." Melanie watched her niece ascend the stairs, feeling a sharp pang of sorrow. "She thinks living here is temporary," Melanie whispered to Rhonda, the realization settling heavily over her. "Well, she no longer tells me what she thinks. It used to be, 'I will sneak out of the house, Aunt Mel. Let us get matching tattoos, Aunt Mel.' Now, because I said so, Aunt Mel, I do horrible things, like put brand new furniture in her bedroom so she does not have to live out of canvas bags. Clearly, I am a monster." Rhonda reached out, placing a comforting hand on Melanie's arm. "Of course she is difficult, Mel. Her entire world just collapsed. Her dad ran off with millions, her mom is in a federal facility, and she was uprooted from her rich, comfortable life. Do you not remember what you were like at 15? Melanie grimaced. "Not very clearly. I did a lot of drinking then." She shook off the melancholic mood, determined to reclaim a sliver of her personal life. "Anyway, I am going out tonight. I have a date. So Rhonda is staying with you guys if you need anything." Just then, Ryder, Melanie's teenage nephew, wandered into the kitchen. Ryder was a quiet boy, carrying his own quiet storms. He held a basketball loosely under one arm. "Coach says I need a better jump shot," Ryder announced to the room at large. Rhonda immediately stood up, clapping her hands together. "You got one of those? Yes, we Asian women are all about the hoops. Let us go outside." She turned back to Ryder, suddenly remembering her temporary role as an authority figure. So if you have got any homework, do it. And beyond that, just, be good and do not torch the place," Melanie supplied helpfully, leaning against the counter. Rhonda shot her a look. "Yes." Melanie turned to Rhonda, feeling the need to explain the family history. It was one little single alarm fire. At his old house, the week his dad ran off to South America. He was angry. He just stacked 20 of his dad's most expensive, custom-tailored suits on the driveway, added a healthy splash of some top-shelf cognac, and lit them up. In a way, it was poetic. Rhonda raised an eyebrow. "In a way, but we all need to let things out every now and then." "No, we do not," Melanie corrected firmly, her civic duty overriding her psychological empathy. "The urge to set things on fire we repress. We bury it deep down where it cannot cause property damage. Anyway, thanks for babysitting, Rhonda. I have not had a single date since the kids moved in 2 months ago. It has been so long. I am actually incredibly nervous." Melanie rushed upstairs to change, returning a few minutes later holding 2 different pairs of shoes. "All right, what do you think? These conservative pumps say smart, independent, bright political future. But these strappy heels say former bad girl, and guess what? She is back." Rhonda eyed the heels skeptically. "What, are you going hiking? Those?" She pointed to the pumps. "That is your style now." Before Melanie could finalize her footwear, Rhonda's cell phone rang. Rhonda glanced at the caller ID, her brow furrowing. "Hello? Yes, this is she. Rhonda Chong. Oh, hello. The Channel School principal? Mrs. Lunt." Melanie froze, one pump halfway onto her foot. "She did what?" Rhonda's voice rose an octave. What did she do? When? Where? Really? Today? Rhonda's eyes widened as she looked at Melanie. Lennox did that. Mrs. Lunt, I find that hard to believe. No, she did not tell her aunt. It is not at all typical behavior for her. Of course I believe you. I know when something is serious. It is really serious. I am really sorry that this happened. I will talk to Melanie, but I am telling you, this could not have happened. Rhonda slowly lowered the phone, ending the call. The silence in the kitchen was suddenly deafening. Guess what? Rhonda said, her voice unusually flat. Today at school, your lovely niece Lennox handed out professionally printed flyers containing an original, highly descriptive poem.